Hello. And it's morning for me. But we're here for more Johnny. I wanted to start with sort of recollecting my thoughts a little bit after the last 12 games. Let's sort of touch base. Let's figure out where we're at. I mentioned a little bit at the end of my last stream some of my thoughts on it, and then there's a commenter that I've been going back and forth with, Iberia, and so I collated some of those thoughts here, and then I put some of my thoughts in my description of the following video after this. But to summarize, it's basically like, how do I think about it? The Johnny games are something that oscillates back and forth for me. It's something that is at times interesting, unique, fun, and at other times like grueling, difficult, and just painful to play. And I do think that that's part of the goal of the design. I think that was the intention. And I think my expectations of wanting it to get better between each iteration is unfair to what they are. That's like some of my basic thoughts, but I wanted to read Iberia's comment because I feel like he sums it up very well. He said, "Well said. I find the exact way they challenged a player to not only be idiosyncratic but pleasant, because the challenge is also psychological," which I very much agree with. It takes a psychological toll to deal with some of this stuff. "I believe that the thrill of crippling Johnny in some games while giving unbelievable freedom in other games is intentional and possibly the reason why so many games were released, to toy around with the ontology and space of 2D Game Maker as much as humanly possible and completely immerse the player in this highly consistent yet constantly different world." And I agree with this statement quite considerably here, this toy around with the ontology and space of 2D Game Maker, because each of the games they oscillate back and forth between giving the player agency and then robbing them of it. And the one consistent thing that I'm appreciative of in these games is that despite each iteration moving forward and backwards in game mechanic wise, he is including saving and loading with each game. So the cost of failure is significantly reduced, as if to imply mechanically over the course of each iteration that he wants you to complete them, despite how like horrible they are. And that could just be him carrying over a save mechanic between games. That's not necessarily, Game Maker has a built-in save mechanic. It's not necessarily saying like, it's not like he's actively improving that between games. At least I don't know. Without decompiling the back end or something like that. That could just be a carryover. But I'm assuming it's a carryover with intention, because each iteration is deleting and destroying like different aspects of gameplay and fun and things that, and sometimes adding them too, because like it took like 5 or 6 games between like a really fun Johnny 4, to then like completely robbing you of agency. Like Johnny 11 was so bad, dude. I fucking hate that game, dude. It's so bad. It was like random triggers, and it was impossible to know what the objective was. But I do feel like out of all the games, that each one stands out in its own way for what it's doing, and that one stands out because of how fucking annoying and ill-conceived and obscure each objective is for what you have to do. So like you would think it's just like, oh, Johnny 11, it's another number in the Johnny series, but no, it's like it's another thing trying to push some edge, some boundary of like what these games can be. And I think that's what I do appreciate about it, even if I hate it in the moments that I'm playing it. The thrill transfers to aesthetics because each time the world of Cubis and the characters look completely different. I find the feeling of finishing a Johnny game to be very rewarding because you always have to give each one its own time to figure it out. And I do agree with this as well. I ended up using some of Saint's playthrough for Johnny 11 because I spent like 20 or 30 minutes on each level and nothing was happening. There was no feedback. It was awful. But I do agree that there is a there's a thrill in seeing what changes each game, even though there some things remain constant and others remain the same, as well as it is very rewarding, and sometimes it's like a breath of relief that you finished one. So I do have to say that, and that may just be because of the challenge or the interest or the intrigue of moving through the Johnny series, but whatever. It is very understandable why you find that to be disheartening. Perhaps consider looking at these games as a way to relax because of their extremely simple gameplay and saves after each screen. And this is a fair point because, like I said, there is no cost to failure, really, other than your time. You know, that's all the game asks of you. It asks you to spend a little bit of time to sit in and try to control sometimes a really crippled character of Johnny, and other times a pretty fun wizard that has a fire gun that can shoot in all orthogonal directions at, like, you know, some pace. Sometimes the bullets are really slow. Now, not to be a Johnny bootlicker, I do find the games that have their problems. The first is the extreme reliance on luck. Some screens are almost impossible without the right RNG, which we found out yesterday. And before, obviously, but yesterday was a very highlighted of that. So you need to reset one screen a lot of times. The second issue is that the games absolutely give up being intuitive in the last third of the series, but that's for another time. That is something I don't know if I should be dreading or not. I really don't, because what I don't like is the unintuitiveness of 11. And if that is the third half of these games, bro, that is going to be a slog. But I'm not going to imagine the demons before they hatch. We'll just get there when we get there. Hello, Jazz. Welcome. Sorry, I wanted to have my little monologue there. Welcome. So yeah, that's some of my thoughts going in. It is, the Johnny series is a very creatively expansive, pushing the boundaries series. And that's there is definitely some exhaustion of different avenues in the design space. So that's something I can appreciate about it quite considerably, even if in the moment I hate playing what I'm looking at, you know? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well. Man, I'm going to be hopping in and out because of work. No problem. If you aren't aware, I don't know how much you've been watching or seeing or getting snippets of, but we are playing through the Johnny series, one game at a time. There are 36 games, and today I am on 13. I only have 2 slated, depending on how long they take. I've been burned by Johnny. Some games are fun, and they take anywhere from 10 to 25 minutes, and then other games are like pulling teeth. Out of like a shark, you know, you're just trying to get through each one. You're like, oh man, do I really have to? Like, please, bro. Hello, Noli. Welcome. I was just talking about your comments. Whose games are those? So they're games made by Kimberly Cubis and or Kim Okkerstrom. Is his former. I don't know. Is it a dead name? I don't know if it's a dead name. He just at some point started calling himself Kimberly Cubis, so that's kind of Cubis is what I call him. But he is a creator, unfortunately not with us anymore, which is actually a disgrace because I really would like to see the other 40 Johnny games he would make over as time continues, given enough permission in the 2D design space to exhaust it. I would be very curious to see. But yeah, so that's awesome. Yo, dude, welcome. Noli, Ibearea, whatever you like to be called. I do really appreciate the comment you left. I do think it characterizes some of my thoughts too. I think you did explain it best when you talked about the pushing the ontology of the 2D game maker space. I really feel like each game, because it would be easy, right, to take each of these Johnny games and just take what you have and add on to it, right? You could recolor the enemies, you could add more stuff, but he does deliberately go in, change the enemies, remove mechanics, change things. The goals are different, the objectives are different each time. Like there is a thought process there. In between each game, and there is something actively happening, a sort of cutting back and then like a watering of like certain seedlings, certain things that sometimes like work their way up to the sunlight to, be the flower that we look at for the Johnny game. So it's pretty interesting. Um, he got the name Cubis. Oh, dude, Fuzzy's here too. Man, we got everything. Oh, hey, more Johnny. Yeah, every day is Johnny until we get him done, buddy. There's 36 games, and I'm trying to get him. And that might be one of my things of why I'm trying to get them done, but I want to get them done so I could do my homage level, because I felt like an imposter not beating the games, right? I felt like, okay, I can see them from the looking glass, the outside looking in as a bystander of like, these are creatively authentic, and that's what I like about it. But it's not the blood, sweat, and shit of like actually playing through each game. So that's what I wanted to do. I felt like I had to earn it. I felt like I had to earn the right to make an homage. I felt like a poser. So he got the name. Yeah, thank you for the cheer, Jacob. He got the name Cubis because his sister got clothes from a store called Cubis, I think, and it was thought of as uncool by her. So he named himself after what was considered uncool. Yeah, I remember reading the Cubis thing. It sounded like a version of like Salvation Army or like a Goodwill store or something like that from what I had read, but I'm not entirely sure. And he said something about like not even being sure of what it was a reference to. He just started calling it that. It was weird. I've read some random stuff. Brother, why you got different channels? What is this malarkey? So, it's actually funny, but like I have a lot of people complain about Twitch ads and Twitch, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do both, right? Because then if people don't want ads, they can go to YouTube. If they want ads to support me, whatever, they can go to Twitch. They use emotes, things like that. And then I might even do like a kick thing. I was trying to do the multi-streaming thing. I think it could work. My process was the same when I first played these. Play of all of them every day in summer in the early 2020s. I didn't like them at first, but then they changed my life in a transcendent way, and now I'm a fan. I can see how that would happen, right? Because each one, I do enjoy the iterative process, and it does exhaust some angle, right? Like whether it's giving player agency or not. And I think most of what happens in the design space for game making specifically is like you don't get to see, I mean, you see them more now with some of these people becoming YouTubers and showing the iterative process of like, hey, I tried this, I tested this out, this sucks, no one likes to play this. Like, okay, we get rid of it, delete it, and then we improve upon it. But you don't get to see that fragment, that fractured little imperfection of what it was, right? So in this, it's like the design process is different. It's like we're gonna iterate on it. Like Kim is iterating on each process, and then he's saving it out as a game for you to play. It's like you get to play every version of the Johnny series, but each version isn't a version in sequentiality where it's like growing and changing and improving over time. It's him exhausting a different angle, like trying to push some different line or boundary each time. So I think that I could see why it would be transcendent. I could see why people enjoy these games and take them for what they are. Because in playing this, I now know I have 100 different things in my head of what I don't want to do for a game. I know it feels unfun because I've sat here and played through it for an hour. I know why the bullet directions of a character can shoot forward and whatever direction they're facing. Because when you don't have that, it feels horrible to play. It sucks. It's like a grueling, muddy swim. It's terrible. So over here, clicking through all channels of yours, I'm sub to. You're sub to everything. Clicking through, then you're gonna have to make a kick account, Jazz. Then you're gonna have to get on everything here. What do I do with all this information? Well, that's a good question, Jacob. As far as what the information you do with it, that's all up to you. I don't know. I don't know how this relates to your life or what you can do in your life. If anything, I think the Johnny series should stand as one person actively trying to push the art in a design space and be authentically themselves. It doesn't matter if people think the Johnny games suck. This dude was like, I'm going to make another one and another one and another one and another one. Again and again. 36 times he said. He probably said it more. We just only have 36 of the games remaining because he was the type of guy that would just release everything online, delete it, go through phases. Like, even his own life is as chaotic as these games are. So, who knows what we have. Kim made movies similar to YouTubers now, absurdist zero-budget comedies, which are just him talking nonsense in a funny way with his friends, like a kid playing pretend, and that is incredible. Yeah, I do see a lot of that even in these games, too. That aspect of sort of just authentically cutting away all of the thou shalts of society, right? I think of it like Nietzsche's philosophy. He has this thing where he talks about, like, you have a camel, like a beast of burden that sort of like hauls all of these ideologies of like society, right? Like, and to put this in a less fancy way, like, society's going to impose on you what it thinks you should do. Like, you should have a game where the jump button is a button and not the up key, because the up key, if it's used for directional for shooting, it's going to, get conflated with them and it's going to be terrible, right? So those are like the thou shalts. And then you have he talks about like transitioning into the lion, where the lion, it like fights for the space it needs to be able to let the child roam free. And child in the way of innocence, of not having the burdens and expectation that society puts on you. Somebody that can clearly look at a situation and like essentially devolve to the point of being a blank slate, because you're going to learn over the course of your time and the way that you sort of dig the trenches in your mind of like how these habits form in your personality. The way that you perceive the world is obviously a reflection of yourself. So in cutting away all of that stuff and sort of becoming the child and just playing pretend, you can exhaust a design space and find different avenues that other people haven't thought, because they're too busy living in like what is already carved out and molded for them with regards to game design. And that's just an example of game design, obviously. DJ Johnny, read like DJ Khaled, another one. Revenge of the Sunfish developer Jinx Tengu, who is friends with Cubis, is also very inspired by Nietzsche, and he made a game called Eternal Return. Also remember Nietzsche saving a horse in Cheese Dreams. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Guys, it's the best book, probably. It's really funny you mentioned that, because I am reading that right now. Every time I sort of, to respond beforehand, the Jinx Tengu, I've never heard of Eternal Return. I'll have to look at that. But I didn't know he was somebody that had read Nietzsche either. But I also haven't scoured over all the Sunfish forums myself yet. But man, I love Cheese Dreams, dude. That game is in my head all the time, and I've only put 2 hours into it. That is something I definitely want to go back to. It's very, I think somebody else said it, like psychically saturating. It might have even been you. I don't remember. But that game is really psychically saturating. I quite love that. But yes, thus spoke Zarathustra. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me. I have been reading that book, and it is very empowering, I guess, to say the least. But it's also densely confusing in an interesting way to sort of pore over. So, Cheese Dreams is the game of the decade. Yeah, so I'm glad you're saying that, because I really do think it's an awesome game. It's like very interesting. It pushes a lot of boundaries. Why didn't he post it on Steam? Is it just because he like doesn't own all the assets for it or something? I was wondering that. Like, dude, I would pay like $10 or $20 for this game. Why is it free? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, maybe it's like a public service or something to release that game. I'm not sure, man, but that thing is awesome. It's really crazy the amount of work somebody put into it. But I think it might be because of assets, because of not owning music or something like that. But it is so weird. Hey, Venom, at Cody, where's my good channel points for redeem? What kind of channel point redeems do you want? Because I'll make them, but I don't know. I'm very indecisive about what I want channel. Like, do I want people to have the chat, like text to speech thing that interrupts my speech? Do I want random stuff like rain or get water or something like that? I don't know. You would not pay $10 for this game. Okay, so if all of the Johnny things were in a 36-pack collection, I would consider paying $10 for it, because it is I would want to support the developer. I think you could argue that even as grating and nail-biting as all 36 of these Johnny games were. I think you can agree that 36 would, for $10 a package would be sellable. Um, yeah, if he wanted recognition, he could also do itch.io. Yeah, I also wonder about that too. Like, it feels like it's a deliberate choice, but I didn't get a chance to ask him. In order to comment on his Patreon, you have to, like, pay, and he's got, like, a tier system. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I just read his free post on there, and then I, like, see some of the stuff he posts in the Sunfish forums. But I was like, it felt like a missed opportunity. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the intended way he decided to do it. But it really does feel like gold in the rough. That game, and I haven't. Something I want to do is see the other 3 endings for that game super badly. So I'm gonna map it out. Probably somewhere after we do the Johnny series. Wait, what is the Fuzzy's thing here? Emote, moonified, button mash. That's great. I love that. I beat the Johnny series 2 times and would happily go for the 3rd, but there is too little time in life. Yeah, I do agree with that. Time is ever pushing, always onward. You only have enough time to experience Johnny a couple times, and then you gotta vicariously live through other people suffering through it to see the other perspectives. All right, well, that's a good transition. Let's go into Johnny 13. You know what? I was disappointed with what I saw in Johnny 13 because he's still agentless. He has a lack of agency, but I do want to see, I had to beat it. We're not even halfway through yet, dude. There's 36 games. I'm hoping to at least do 2 today, so we'll see where I'm at. So without further ado, cheap viewers, as always, to map out the ROTSF flowchart, that liquefied kitten PFP used cheat engine and a tool to extract assets. Oh, that's interesting because I had looked at that flowchart and I had wondered if they took the Revenge of the Sunfish thing and just decompiled it. I have a couple of GameMaker decompilers here. Actually, we should try and see if Cheese Dreams just straight up decompiles. I didn't even think to do that. Let's see. Because he's using an old version of GameMaker, isn't he? I'm pretty sure he is. No, it didn't work. Okay. It might be a newer... It might be too old, like GameMaker 5 or something. Yeah, it might be like GameMaker 5 or something like that. I'll play with it later. I have like 3 decompilers. One of them I had to use like VirtualBox to fucking load Windows XP to try to get it to decompile, but it has to like catch the game in memory and try to decrypt it. It's really bizarre. I really want somebody to go through and decompile the old Johnnies. Just for a future preview, I did go through and I have decompiled from, I think, is it 30 onward or something? 29 onward. So we can actually, for future when we get to these games, we can actually go in and look at some of the programming. This is GameMaker 8.2. This is a Brazilian version. GameMaker stopped making GameMaker at 8.1. But we can actually go in and sort of get into the headspace a little bit of Kim with some of these future iterations, even though they devolve. So I'm curious to see like what my thoughts are after playing them. It looks like it's all drag and drop code, but I'll really pry back the stuff and sort of see what the hell we're working with here, what Kim was cooking. I'm excited to actually see what we're looking at. So from 29 to 36, I have it all decompiled because that's a version of GameMaker we can actually see. So we're gonna get a little bit of an extra in-depth look into that game. I'm gonna play these with you. I downloaded it. Great, I can't wait. We're both gonna suffer together. I guarantee Johnny was named after Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I don't know what Johnny is made from. I don't know if he's I honestly have no idea. That's a good question. It could just be like the name that Kim thought was good and then rolled with it. All right, well, without further ado, we can't bait the audience any longer. We have to subject ourselves to some Johnny. This is the Eat the Frog of the day, right? Here we go. pggames.net. Let me make that a better size for you. If I can. Window capture? What am I doing here? Oh, I gotta go to square game. There we go. I actually do appreciate that these are square aspect ratio, because it's like, you know, I can just use the same format for each one. How convenient. Okay, a game created by Kimberly Cubis in 2007. I actually miss the lore dumps. This actually reminds me of the font that they use for like the burrito places for some reason, like that vaguely Mexican burrito font. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have. Interestingly, Johnny has lost his arms, which is kind of ironic because the agency of each of these games decreases as time goes on. So yeah, it's kind of funny that we've completely lost our arms. This is playable. I really like that I can't. So just so you know, I can't move. Oh wow, this is great. Thanks, Kim, man. You did a good job on this one. Okay, let me move this off. These cyclopean... Oh, no, they have 2 eyes. Just not multiple pupils. Yeah, the gun does feel pretty good, even though it's, like, we have quite a bit of bullets. Even if we can't, like, okay, so I'm trying to move right, but because Johnny's got a foot in the sand, his nose is still a ability to climb and hook onto stuff. That's good, I guess. Okay. Ooh, I don't know if I like this precarious situation. Oh man, I thought I could tank a couple more damage. Okay. We'll take these. Okay, I'm taking a few of them out. Yeah, I am very curious when I finally look under the hood what sort of programming these guys even have, and whether it's a little bit more intention that I thought it was. Okay, we might actually have to fight those. And I also feel like with the decompiling, we might be able to get a lore accurate Johnny game with the accurate Johnny physics, because we'll have the numbers for what makes it Johnny a Johnny. Because you know what, the collision and stuff between each game has felt relatively similar, and that might just be the nature of old Game Maker and him using built-in commands. But I'm gonna do it full screen so I can't write in chat while playing. Okay, gotcha. I'll try to beat it. We'll see who does it faster. Probably you, dude. You beat these twice. Johnny looks the creepiest in this one because I can't see his eyes. Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. I kind of see one eye, I think, up to his nose, and he has an open mouth with no teeth, but he's still a PG gamer. This is like a... Okay. But he has like almost a crown, you know? Like he's earning some sort of oligarchical right. It's probably the virtue of being a Johnny. The 13th Johnny. I guess it's not surprising that the 13th one is creepy, right? Because 13 is always like that suspicious, haunted number. You see, Kim still hasn't learned how to do anything aside from the one soundtrack that pervades the entire game. I wonder what I'm supposed to do for this. Is it just luck? That's a good question. Actually, I shouldn't say Kim doesn't learn how to do anything, because I actually do believe a lot of this is intentional. I mean, like, you know, there's opportunity here for, like, sound effects of, like, different things saying different stuff, but I actually believe it was probably intentional to not do that. There is deliberate choice happening here. We're just not sure what the deliberate choice is. Okay. So if anything touches me, I basically die, but I can tank a few shots, so I feel my best bet is actually just to jump over everything. So if the RNG graces me with the divine hops that I need. Okay, this is a pretty good position. Oh, man, dude. I suspect there was some sort of thing at the end they're jumping on. Okay, I think I just got really lucky here. Nice. Look at that dodge, bro. That was clean. Okay. Why even shoot? It takes 50 bullets to kill something. Oh, man. I thought I could dodge it. Okay, let's kill this. Okay, wait. Man, remember in Johnny 8 when the stuff actually had blood? Ah, that was like a godsend, dude. Those bats had like wings that like dismembered off of them and stuff. It was like impressive. How far we've come, dude. All I want is to see the blood of killing by Johnesian enemies. That's what we're gonna call it. Like Johnny-esque Johnesian. I'm back. Can I get a lizard button redeem? What does the lizard button do? Does it just make a lizard noise? What does the lizard even sound like? That's a good question. I got chat working. I'll write tips. Okay. If I get truly like stuck and it's painful, feel free to write tips. But otherwise, I think I'm capable of figuring it out. Johnny's become slightly predictable as time has gone on here. Also, I do want to know, when you play this, are you using southpaw style? Are you using the control on the left side of your keyboard or the one on the right side? Is there like a southpaw fighting style to tackle a Johnny game? What does it look like? Oh man, that dude cooked me with that shot, bro. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'll send it to you. The lizard redeem? Is that what you're talking about sending to me? Yeah, send it to me. I'll cook it up for you. Whatever you want. So I've had the channel points thing, but I have not had a good idea for it. You know, I haven't... This guy just reminded me, I haven't tried jumping into the wall and sort of seeing what glitches exist in this game. Okay, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Okay. Alright. Oh, I do some platforming? That's familiar. I really like that. Okay, I'm just gonna pre-fire and sort of pray. This guy's in my way, though. I see we still have to get as far right to the screen as possible, too. Okay, we should probably stay over here to kill these guys. I feel like if I was to start to distill some of the essence of what makes a Johnny game, and what would be what I consider like a faithful... Oh, wow, I'm surprised I died there. I didn't think I'd taken any bullets yet, but maybe some bullets are worth more than others. I think one of the things that would be quintessentially Johnny is the having agency, removing agency thing's a big one. I would also say the nose hooking onto platforms is a big one. The fire gun, having a gun that shoots like a ton of bullets, is a pretty consistent Johnny staple. I would also say that the pushing the edge of the screen and having to be all the way to the edge to sort of do it. Okay, I gotta sort of take my battles as they come here. Wow, this is... Okay. I just need to see what's up here. Okay, there's a guy over there that I can't quite perceive yet. But Johnny's all about fighting the invisible enemies. He's like a government official trying to take him out is what it is. Hold on a second. So she sent me 3 or so examples, okay. Control on the left side of the keyboard, right hand on the arrow keys. Okay, I kind of thought that was the way it worked. I believe onions do not belong on a burger. Are you sure? Onions on a burger? Come on, man. What kind of onions, though? The sweet onions? Okay, first mini boss. All right. Oh, what is this? Okay, so Heather, this is the 13th game in the prolifically 36 gamed Johnny series. All right. So this was made by a developer named Kimberly Cubis is what we call him. Unfortunately, not with us any longer. But each one of these games is like just his foray into sort of deconstructing the genre of game design. It's probably the best way to think about it. Like each game sometimes gives the player choice and agency. Some games remove it. But each one is unique and different in their own way. And there is quite a bit of effort in at least changing the enemies, the design, and sort of exploring different design spaces. So we play as the titular character, Johnny, who is a recurring character. He's a PG gamer. He often has a large nose, sometimes with varying amounts of different arms or not, and generally has access to his fire gun. He's a wizard who's had his hat of power stolen, and one of his main big bad antagonists that he must fight is Spartanicus. And sometimes the developer himself, which goes by Sparlaticus, or Kim himself. So that's the lore, what we're working with up here. And I'm 13 games in, so as you can see, I'm very invested in finishing out the entire story and figuring out if we get any more lore or if we don't, and what it looks like in the future of Johnny here. Oh my, okay. I feel bad killing this guy. He doesn't look like he's doing anything. He doesn't look like he's harming me, you know? I feel like mean. How's life? Life is bananas, and I became a banana juggler. Recently, it's been going great. That's probably a good way to describe it. Baby's good still in the hospital for undisclosed time. Well, hopefully soon you get your child in your arms and in your house. What else did you buy the house for? Come on. Gotta get that kid out of there. I'm gonna take this guy out just because I feel like he's gonna backstab me at some point. He's got a smile that says, I have duplicitous intentions. That's what I don't like about this guy. I don't trust a smile like that. And hey, Addo, how are you? We do get lore. Yeah, we get plenty of lore. There is so much lore in this game. I cannot wait to see future lore. How are you doing today, Addo? How's life? How's your game coming? You said you wanted 25 levels. What are you at? Oh, I was going to attack that guy, but it actually seems superfluous to do that. Okay, let's ignore these enemies. Oh, man. Okay. Man, look at these guys. They're quick. Okay, I think I can... Oh, I was going to say I can safely attack, but... It's interesting in this game because you often have to choose between whether you want to safely shoot left or right, or if you want to try to jump to re-angle your bullet. My head is almost big enough, almost tall enough to hit that. Okay, I'm just going to keep firing right and pray that we sort of pre-kill everything that could be over there. I'm shopping for streamer houses. Now that we get Jade streams, we're going to be great. Yeah, it's, honestly, with everyone streaming, we can have the ultimate streamer house. Or the ultimate streamer commune, I guess. Might be a better way to put it. It's also kind of funny that because Johnny's hitbox is so large, his nose ends up walking into bullets before you can have your safety shield of bullets. It's also probably interesting from a design perspective to consider that the thing you use as a weapon is also a shield. That is also interesting. I don't think I've thought about that consciously for a moment yet. Like the fire gun, the Promethean fire that Johnny wields as a wizard is also something that protects him. It keeps him warm. It keeps him living. Otherwise, he'd be cold-blooded and dead. Interesting thought there. This game truly is a game that keeps on giving symbolically. As I do whatever this is. Okay, that guy got stuck up there. Thank God. Oh no, do we have to kill him? Okay, this is an unorthodox Johnny level. See, all the levels up until this point I've had to go right, but I suspect I have to go down this hole that I thought I had to jump over. Yep, okay, look at that. Creative. Level 13, but not level 12. Yeah. Okay, well, it sounds like you're making progress in your game. That's good to hear. Soon would be great. I don't know why house was purchased, but I feel like we sleep here, and that's about it. That sounds about the... Sounds like the use of a house, huh? The ultimate streamer communism. Yeah. Pure market for streaming. This level felt like nothing. Okay, this is a little safe. You need to move right and left to shield yourself from bullets. That's true. That there is a... Yeah, you have to sort of move your nose out of the way. He always leads with his nose. That's part of the problem. Oh, I kind of like these blue guys. They remind me of like a bird or something. Like, look how close my nose is to this guy. I almost like, oh, the boss. I appreciate that is named eponymously boss in capital letters. That's good. Nice, Kim. I feel safe here. I don't know if I should. I guess it's, I'm grateful the bullets are above my head. That sort of gives me a shield. Oh, never mind. He just kicked me. He just stabbed me with his foot. I'm going to go more left this time. I appreciate that the boss is defined. Oh, wait. Am I even doing damage to him? Oh, yeah. I guess sometimes the bullets go through him, but... Look at that dead grin. Okay, congratulations. You win. Nice. Did you beat it before me, or did I beat it before you? Score is 1-1-1. I wonder if the score changes. I'll have to play it again to see. I almost feel like there might be a joke between some of the scores. Well, that actually wasn't that bad. I thought that was going to be much worse than it was. That was very short. Look at Kim is turning more and more goth and emo as time goes on. The ultimate kick attack from the untitled boss. Well, he's titled. He's just titled boss. All right, let's give... I reached the boss. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, I guess I'm going to... What are my thoughts about that one? It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that offensive. It was pretty easy. I didn't feel like there was a ton of randomness. So, was there anything memorable in it? I think probably the most memorable thing is the fact that the boss was named Boss, as if we wouldn't know that that was the boss. It's pretty funny. It's like a double joke there. Like, obviously the big thing at the end in the one room that doesn't scroll is going to be the boss, but, you know, maybe that's just it. He's playing with the fact that we're assuming that on our part, right? Because that is an assumption. This is also KimberlyCubis.com. Oh, man. Dude. Oh, I see the shrink. Yes, thank goodness. I'm so glad we have shrink. Okay. Enter to start a new game. This is 14. I kind of like the Matrix-like screen we have here. Backspace to load. Interesting. We've got like a safe stating thing. I don't think we've had the ability to load in mid-game, but I haven't tried it. To shrink yourself into a mini edition. Interesting way to put that. Press the space key. You cannot fire in this position. To shrink yourself back to normal size. Wouldn't that be grow yourself back to normal size? Maybe this is intentional. Press the space key again. To shoot, press control key. You steer with the arrow keys instead of move. Interesting. To quit, press escape. To restart a level, press the enter key. This must have been added later and he forgot what font he had, so he had to do it again. Your game is automatically saved after each level. Johnny series created by Kimberly Cubis Sparlaticus. He's identifying himself as Sparlaticus. Still Kimberly Cubis / this, so maybe he's got some multiple persona thing here. Released by PG Games Entertainment, 2003-2007. For more games, check out KimberlyCubis.com. So instead of PGGames.com, it's KimberlyCubis.com. Dude, your score is 116. It's probably because I had some guys that... Yeah, I'll wait. Let me know when to start, so that we start at the same time. Tell me a random word. Totally not for my game. Actually, the word I really liked that Noli used earlier was ontology. You should use that word. That's a word I need to use more often. It's something I think about, like conceptually, but I don't know if I use the word for it. Maybe he forgot the password for the Kimberly Goobas accounts and made a second one, but then he remembered the password and now he had two. Yeah, it's probably what it is. I also feel like he probably lost a lot of this stuff. Okay, you can start. Wait, I got a tip. Okay, tell me your tip, and then I'll go, and then you can start at the same time. I think you're right, Jazz. He probably forgot his login for his server. And he's like, oh well, I guess we got pggames.com, or he forgot his password for himself. Yeah. Oh boy, we love tips. Yeah, dude, I love tips. Let's hear it. Mash spacebar while jumping, and you can move 3 times as fast and skip as many enemies. Okay, interesting. All right, I'll keep that in mind. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my lord. Oh my, okay. Oh god, this music is horrible. Hold on, I'm trying to figure it out. What is happening, dude? Can I shoot this thing, or is that a... Okay, we made it. Holy dude. I want to kill something. What does that look like? Okay, they just die. Wow, look at this jump. What was that? Please, my nose is too big. I can't. This is a masterclass in game design here. I actually appreciate that the enemy is slanted in a way so that it actually goes under my nose first. That's really funny to me. That had to be intentional. Get me out of here! Okay. Okay, running into a wall just sort of shows me the terrible collision of... Get me in, coach. The jump is oddly inconsistent. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe I gotta kill him. Oh, or never mind. Oh, okay, well... Yeah, okay, this is, Kimtastic. Wait, I beat the level? I didn't realize I beat it. What in the... is happening, guys? If you don't know what's happening, I don't either. Just so you know. This game truly is a game of all time. You can also clip through, so I exploit mashing spacebar in this one. Yeah, that makes sense. Another tip, hold in order, control right, left, and then up arrow to shoot many. Hold control right, left. Oh, I see. Yeah, sort of like spam it, you're saying. That's probably a good tip. It's okay, I got this though, dude. You don't gotta worry about me. My nose is big enough to hit the end trigger of the level before it even happens, so... Okay, well, thank goodness space restarts still. Okay, actually, you want to be big for this section? Okay, there's a process here. Really love whatever this is, Kim. This is... Okay, my jump is inconsistent, and I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, the only way is to want it. Interesting. Well, I consistently, when I hit the wall, he, like, sort of... well, I was going to say consistently teleports, but that's not the case. Put me in. Here, let's follow this. Let's take our time. Okay, oh. What in the... I don't know where I am. All I know is I need to get over here. Nice. Oh, this is where I want to be. Oh, shit, dude. Okay, touching things with your nose is like a random teleport. Sometimes you get to the top of the level. If grace is afforded to you. Otherwise, it's like pure random. Okay, so we're up here. And okay, well, Soft locked? Johnny's ass is too big to fit in there. Got stuck in the washing machine between those. This music just encourages me to try to not spam, but hold them together so that Johnny lightly jumps and reaches more. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see. He almost does have a variable jump height. You're right. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so it is like if he jumps a few times, he sort of got this. He's got hops. Okay, fitting in this hole is going to be actually Johnny's biggest challenge. Now that I see it. Beat the mini boss. You beat the mini boss? Oh man, he's already ahead of me. I'm trapped in this purgatory. Yeah, help. Help, step Johnny. My nose is stuck in the washing machine. Yeah, it's worse than stuck in the washing machine. Look at this thing. Okay, so if I hit the platform all the way to the... Oh my god. What am I looking at, dog? Okay, can we get small here? Okay. That's okay. I see what we have to do. I don't know about the execution of it, because Johnny's nose, every time he hits it, he accidentally fires off a magic spell that teleports him 50,000 miles above the sea. Holy shit, okay. And then if I hit that platform, I go all the way down. Also, his jump is, leaves a lot to be desired as far as consistency is concerned. Look at, I have to lead with my nose, but I can't quite tell. Ah! Like, where the hell am I? Oh, shit, okay. Okay, I got this, though. The first challenge Johnny has presented thus far that I can't cheese. Okay. Let's be small. I have a feeling small is better. Sometimes it's not about the size. It's just about being able to fit in, you know? I mean that socially. Obviously, you can take that many ways, but... Maybe that's the symbolism for what... You know, I do appreciate that the moving platforms actually move to the extent of their direction, and then they sort of... Oh, yes. Oh, I'm in. Okay, good. Alright. The gun might be useful here. Nice. Okay, I gotta dodge these shots. Okay, we can jump up here. Oh. We can shoot. I don't know how many bullets, let's just fire a few. I'm pushing the edge of the... Okay, there's a monster there. Nice, I found it. Foot is my tool. Foot is my tool, that's what he's saying. Okay, we can't shoot when we're big, so... Let's catch up on chat. If this isn't fun, then nothing is. Yeah, this one's actually pretty fun. I like how, random and zany and crazy it is. It also is interesting to try to figure out, like, how to make the inconsistent chaos, like, ordered, I guess. Cody's the only one that cares. Cody only cares about fitting in. Yeah, this game just, it showcases all of the things I'm projecting. That's the nature of playing a Johnny game. What was the intention here? Oh. No! Okay, I saw my nose is too big. I led with my nose instead of my gun. Unfortunate for me. Nice. Johnny is fat in this one. Not afraid to say it. Yeah, he's packing, bro. This guy's like, he's got girth on this thing, man. It's not. I've joked in the previous games about the nose being a lance, but it really is a lance here. This guy's right. He's riding a horse, man. Oh, I gotta get in some kind of tiny crook. Some tiny little nook that only Johnny can fit in when he's small. It's interesting because as Johnny gets fatter, he also returns with an ability to shrink, which is kind of interesting. It's like he compensates for his own fatness. by giving you agency to determine when and... Or maybe that's something Kim's dealing with. Maybe he just knows that that his fatness is a choice or something. Which is interesting that he chooses the nose to be the fattest part on Johnny, because that's something you can't change genetically. Unless eating schnozberries makes your schnoz longer. I don't know. It's a good question. Truly a question of the ages that Johnny asked me to answer here. Or perhaps Johnny's nose is sort of a continuation of the unicorn. I was actually reading about the unicorn symbol recently, because I was trying to add a unicorn in my board game that I'm developing. And I have a dragon. And one of the criticisms I got for that game was because it's a game about zoo, like a zoo, and you're trying to become the best zookeeper. We had a zookeeper playtest the game when we were at Gen Con, and the thing she said that some of these animals aren't at the zoo, like golden retrievers and things like that. And dragons, they don't exist. It seems really weird from like a zoo perspective. And so I came up with a lore-specific reason to sort of explain that away. I said, okay, well, the zoo's coming on hard times, which is why everyone in the game is competing for the zookeeper position. And so they had to just sort of try to do the best that they could to get people interested in the zoo. So they took like a lizard and they sort of just taped some like dragon-like cardboard stuff on it to make it look like a dragon. Or like there's a horse and they just put a horn on it to make it look like a mythical creature in order to make it more interesting. And then somebody brought their dogs, their golden retrievers, to the zoo because they just needed more animals. They were out of it. And so I was trying to design thematically something ludonarratively consistent for what I felt like a unicorn's ability would be. And you know, unicorns they have many different symbolic things, like whether it's like a medicine, like a medicinal thing that the king uses that can heal all, or some sort of, you know, thing like that. But also unicorns are known for trickery and deceiving. And typically they can be sort of tricked and deceive themselves in order to get their horn and kill them. And the way that you do that is you sort of have a virginal maiden that it lures the unicorn towards, which is kind of ironic because the unicorn horn is, you know, kind of like a phallic thing in its own way. But the idea is you have to have a virginal maiden, and then it'll fall asleep in her lap, and then the hunter can kill the horse itself. And so I was thinking about it. I was rattling in my head. All of this is to say is that I was rattling in my head this idea of like innocence, of like power, of like purity, of like the weird phallic nature. And then I was also reconciling it with like what the unicorn horn actually was, which is they didn't realize it back then, but it was actually just narwhal tusk that people were taking. And they were like, this is a unicorn horn. It's the best medicinal thing of all time. It's you know, you can cure everything with it, including your erectile dysfunction, whatever it is. Like, you know, so I was thinking of like, how do I incorporate this like 1,000-year, I don't know if it's 1,000, but like this old mythological history of a unicorn into like a thematic ability that makes sense for my game, but perhaps also include the narwhal aspect of it, the fact that it's a sea creature and not like a horse, like all in the same thing. That was something that's been rattling in my brain. I don't have a solution for it. There is actually no payoff to this story other than it reminds me of Johnny in this way. I'm thinking about like a unicorn of trickery and Kim sort of being this little trickster, because he does pull some kind of tricky shit quite a bit. I'm actually struggling quite a bit on this level here. I'm sorry for not making progress if that's what you're here for, but Johnny's inexperienced and we're here for the ride. Can you add a fuka? They tape a narwhal horn to a seahorse. What is a fuka? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Is that an animal, Jazz? Sorry if I'm getting to that chat message like way later. Lol, is that from Monty Python and the Holy Grail? I don't know if I have seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but it's been forever since I've seen if it's like a skit in there, so I'll have to watch it again. Cuba seems like he would believe in dragons. He did believe in vampires, though. Interesting. To be honest, I almost believe in vampires myself. Just like in the energy form, you know? Like there are clearly vampiric things out there that sort of sap your energy as a person. People believe in all manner of weird shit. Or maybe bro is just hung like Johnny. Wait, I missed all these chats. I missed that, Jazz. That was so good. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, honestly, Jazz, maybe I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it from a scavenger mindset. That's the problem. I need to access my king archetype a little bit. That's the problem. I got nothing but small dick energy over here. I can only think in the small symbolic struggles. Maybe he was just hung like Johnny. Maybe that's what it's about. It's my own inadequacies I'm projecting onto this guy making games that has no regard for my sanity or patience. But it's actually just Kim's big dick energy that he's trying to communicate. It's exactly what it is. Was trying to denote his struggles. Yeah, it's a hard life. Leading penis first into everything. I mean, leading nose first into everything. Think of all the things you could smell with this thing. You could use it to cut open letters. Letter opener. Oh, man. Why can't I beat this level, dude? It's killing me. I leave for 30 seconds to come back to this. Yeah, I remember that trickster level with the teleport next to the screen was at the bottom of the tower structure in one of the Johnnies. It shows a balloon on the next screen. Yeah. Honestly, 11 had a lot of, like, chicanery. It was, like, pretty silly. Pretty silly. Especially, like, yeah, I kept hitting the teleporter on 11 in the first level, and I could not for the life of me figure out how it worked. There's gotta be a way to... Okay, yeah, you just gotta run into shit. That's how you do it. I was on that level for way too long. You gotta hit this. Pray you get teleported up. If there is something up. Okay, maybe we shoot. It's okay, Jazz. I'll be processing all your comments in real time 30 seconds later as I read them. I have to debate what's a good... Oh my god, okay. I groin skip that one. I don't know if you saw that. That's what I'm calling groin skip. Okay, I think if we get lucky, we can just... Oh, kill these guys. If we get lucky, we can shed blood. Johnny's a PG gamer that craves blood. With a nose like this, how couldn't you? Oh man, that's gonna go all the way over there, isn't it? Oh man, does he want me to fit in that tiny hole? This really is a game about Johnny's struggles, bro. You're so right, Jazz. The problem having a big nose. Okay, this guy needs to die. But it's not gonna be that easy. Something I do notice specifically about this game, though, is that, the bullets when you jump up don't immediately the jump being inconsistent is a troll for sure. It is a fucking troll, bro. Look, I have to, like, yeah, I mean, I guess it gives me... Okay, this guy's in my way. Put me in, coach. Get me out of this box. I don't want to be here anymore. Okay. I think my favorite enemy is that Twin Towers looking U. With the lower side and the higher side. That really is great. Okay, I beat it somehow. Fukas are Celtic folklore creature that were malignant. I'll have to look that up, Jazz. I don't know about the Fuka. I've heard a lot of names of mythological creatures, and I've been collecting bestiary books with a bunch of creatures, old children's tales. I just got some books on Norwegian folk tales recently that I've been reading, which are really funny because, like, they exist in this weird sort of time chamber where it's clear that the trolls sort of represent the old pagan ideas of, like, the Norwegian area, and they all hate Christians, which was, like, I'm assuming the, like, new dominant thing that was existing. Like, in order to explain it away, they sort of had to deal with this transitional process between the old paganism and the Christianity, and so all these trolls just became like Christian hating monsters that were chaotic and lazy and evil and whatever other thing that they tried to inundate him with to sort of get rid of the pagan mythology. It's pretty fascinating to read, honestly. And sometimes the trolls are good. Like, there's a story about this guy who helps a troll with his boot because his boot is broken, but it's like a boot that lets him walk like 7 leagues or something. Very bizarre. And then him and his girlfriend, because like it's like a weird story. I'm losing my voice. Basically, there's this princess that wants strawberries, but it's the middle of winter. And so he takes the boot that he fixes, this 7-league boot, which he can use to traverse mass distance. And he gets her the strawberries. And she's like, oh, I want to marry you. And he's like, no, you're a petulant child who asks for strawberries in wintertime. Like, I'm not going to marry somebody that's like a petulant child that wants things that she shouldn't be able to have. But I did get it for you. So I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. And so he brings her to this troll who's sleeping in this hay stable, and she like isn't oppressed by how ugly the troll is, which I think is just some sort of thing to like showcase like, oh, she can handle the chaotic nature of like the wild man or something like that. That's kind of what I believe the archetypical thing is happening, and they sort of lay together. So like I think that also is like a symbol for like, oh well, she can handle the beast in me sort of thing. I don't know. And then the guy takes his boot back and leaves, and he becomes king and decrees that like all hay stables should not be interrupted by anyone, because I guess the troll hadn't slept in forever because he's constantly moving. Troll's got a mindset grindset type of culture. I don't know, man. It was a weird story, but very different from the other ones that all eat Christians and things like that, which was very bizarre. This is a long diatribe. Random stuff that is not focusing on the Johnny series, just things that are coming in my head as I look at this, but it's really strange. People think the Johnny series is like a postmodern deconstruction, but the truth is Kim just did what he wanted, and that's it. What he wanted just happened to be very unlike what most desire. I do agree with that sentiment. I think that's what drew me in. That's why I felt like I felt a lot of harmony in playing the games and looking at them from the outside looking in, because it really felt like somebody that was just trying to be authentically themselves. It was like, hey, the game sucks. It doesn't matter. Or maybe it didn't suck for him. It was just he was honestly able to create something that he felt like was authentically himself. So, is this a 1-bullet kill? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Perhaps those were bullets stacked up. I think that's what I really liked. I resonated deeply with it. Because in my own game, I was like, well, I felt like I had all these standards, this like sort of perfectionism that was preventing me from adding more levels in my game, like this impossible thing that I had to reach. But then when I started deconstructing that, and then I found these games, I was like, oh, you know, that people like these games, and they're objectively at times very bad, poorly designed from, I guess, a conventional game design perspective. And so to see somebody just sort of prolifically create just for the sake of creating, like it was pretty eye-opening to see something like that. I can see why people find some of these things to be life-changing in different ways. Oh, interesting troll here. Is this a secret path down here? Nope, okay. I need this guy to die, but okay, I can shoot him in the head here. Kind of gruesome. Perhaps I'm supposed to fall there. Yeah, I think I am. Nice. They like to trick people but not kill them. They have been known to take the shape of a... What is that? I can't even see what that is. Oh, the horse. Okay, Jade has a horse 7 TV emote. That's why I'm confused. Take the shape of a horse and take anyone who hops on them on a terrifying ride. Interesting. Kim is Norwegian. Also, Kim Okkerstrom is not a dead name. He just used many usernames, and Kimberly Cubis was the most common. Okay. I have found accounts from him under Sparlaticus, so I wasn't sure. I figured he... it wasn't like a some sort of like we have the modern like trans movement sort of thing. I didn't think it was like that. I felt like it was more of like a persona versus identity sort of thing that he was doing. That he was like shifting between, and who knows, maybe the drugs just got to him at a certain point. It is noted that he did do quite a bit of experimental drugs, which I would actually really like a chronology from somebody closer to him about like what he was taking at what times, so that we can sort of place it in each Johnny game to sort of see if that reflects some sort of consistency with that. But I don't know if anybody would do that. That boot story sounds like a Johnny game. It really does, doesn't it? I was actually reading some of these Norwegian stories, and I was thinking about his last name, like Okkerstrom, because it has that O with the like double dot or the slash through it, which is, I believe, something I see, because the Norwegian fairy tale books I have both the Norwegian native language in it. They're like bilingual, and then they have the English, and I was reading through them, and there are some vibes, I guess is the best way you can put it, similar between like trolls and stuff. Like all the trolls have big noses. Like it's a common thread. So there may be some sort of subconscious collective Norwegian troll thing happening here, which is kind of interesting to think about. Okay. Oh man, dude, I thought I had it. They are also said to be the one who spoils the blackberries in winter. That's kind of funny to relate it to like a horse, right? The Fuka itself, like it takes you on terrifying rides, and also it spoils the blackberries. Otherwise, they'd be infinite if it wasn't for these damn horses that are roaming the fields and spoiling blackberries. That's pretty funny. Connect the Johnny games to an archetype. What's cool is Johnny 14 is still the hero's journey. Yeah, I do see that quite a bit. I haven't read enough Joseph Campbell to like have the full hero's journey like mapped out in my head, but I have looked it over quite a bit. And what I do see of it, I can see it in a lot of the games that we play. The question is Johnny a they talk about the 3 stories, right? Like, is Johnny I feel like Johnny is the one that he's a man that goes on an adventure, but there's also like the man that comes to town. What is it? I think it's like 3 stories. It's like somebody comes to town, somebody goes on an adventure. I forget what the third one is, but or 7 stories, 6 stories. There's a bunch of list of like different numbered stories like that. Johnny is the guy that leaves town to go on an adventure for sure, with his nose in tow, his big, uncompromisingly large lance-like nose that he uses as his primary weapon. It's a movement thing. It's his health. It's a lot of different things. Okay, let's see if we can. Oh man, dude, it's like there's like a lag between. You gotta want it, is basically what it is. I don't have the skill. That's what it is. That's my problem. I gotta get better. I think I can kill him from here. I'm hoping I'm not taking damage, though. Okay. So it's not over here. I feel like it's down here. Nope. Where is the exit for this level? Oh, there's a platform down there. Ah, okay. Secret. Objective reality was shattered 100 years ago. Objective reality was shattered 100 years ago. Are you relating that to like a specific philosopher? I kind of get what you're saying in that statement, but you might have to delve a little bit deeper with that. I have above me the great books of the Western world, all 45 of them, but I have not read them all. I've sort of like pieced them together as I continue. You know, I'm not glitching a lot. I actually just am having fun playing this iteration of Johnny, so I haven't been trying my best to end it sooner because it's been sort of like a peaceful wine tasting journey. Although that guy moving to the right seems like he's going to make it pretty difficult for me to get up there. Okay, this one does feel like there's a random element of they need to go right in order for me to win. I like the shrink because it adds the idea of like you can dodge stuff, you know? I feel like I need to use this nose teleportation thing here that Johnny has as a wizard to sort of get out. Okay. This one does feel like luck, right? Because I need both of those guys to get stuck. Okay, this is fortuitous. I gotta not die now. Okay. They have to go left, and then those guys have to go right. Okay, we gotta not get hit by this shit either. Can I shoot from here? No, I can't. Okay, this is actually... Ah, shit. Okay. A challenge. A lot of RNG in this one. I think we can kill him. Yeah, okay. Gotta want it. His first incarnation was Spartacus, and then he also was a Freemason sometimes and got mad at them. Then he decided to come back to Earth and witness his digital age. Does he actually claim that he was a Freemason in that Spartacus thing? Spartanicus, Sparlaticus. Oh, so Johnny is a troll. He might be a troll. I don't know. I don't know if it's a representation of Kim himself or what. Cubists believe the afterlife is one... Wait. Cubists believe the afterlife is one believes and wants the most their afterlife to be. Okay, the afterlife is whatever one believes and wants most their afterlife to be. So Johnny fans get reincarnated in Cubists, Christians in heaven or hell, so Cubist world of these games is real. Yeah, I can see that. He can sniff out adventure like no one else. What is that, Pepe? Chill Monka S. Yeah, that's the dread of perceiving that objective reality is just a reflection of whatever you want it to be, right? That's what I think you meant. I think I understand what you're saying now. I need this guy dead. Please kill him. Oh, it was not enough. It's never enough. That has to be enough. It's not enough. I can't take any more damage. I don't feel I can. Okay, this is the farthest we've been. Oh, what is this dog? Okay. Oh, I love this collision. Okay, can we get big and not, like... Okay, nice. I don't think we can kill these guys like this, though. Oh, shit. I actually gotta get up here. I gotta get through this platform. Oh, man, dude. Okay, this level, dude. This one's a challenge. He made a little labyrinth for us to participate in here. I need to make sure these guys go left. Okay. I need to also not take damage as much as possible. See, Johnny at times just feels like a random foray into trying your best to navigate these, like, jank controls. And other times, Johnny's a thinking man's game. I mean, look at this. Look at all the strat I have to do. I have to jump, like, multiple times to get big, to then... I gotta pray that my... Oh, that was actually a pretty good position. Oh, that was a good position, too. I didn't value it for what it was. There we go. Oh, dude, my family does that. My grandpa was a master Freemason, and they showed up at his funeral and stuff. Oh, that's crazy, dude. You have a Freemason family? Just means there's a bunch of cool cultural artifacts in your house that you can get later. What's funny is still no one knows how to score in these games is calculated. I was wondering if it was an artistic choice for some of the score stuff. Like if it was just like... Oh my god, okay. No! Oh, I beat it. Oh, you had to go left. I guess that's kind of cool. I was too busy trying to go right that I didn't think that Kim deconstructed it. Yeah, I thought maybe it was killing enemies was the scoring. But I bet once I decompile the game... Or once I show through the decompiled games, we'll be able to see exactly what the hell scoring does. It would be really funny if it changes the route of the game. That's part of the reason I wanted to decompile the game so much is because I want to see like how many secrets there were. Because there was only one game where I saw the secret of like you can get money and like the hats, and potentially that contributed to the score. Man, I love this enemy. That's my favorite. Okay. Oh, I took that at the tip of my nose. It hit me just the tip. Okay, I think I killed it. Whatever was over here is dead. Okay, I beat that level. It's weird. Wait, sorry, I'm lagging behind. I think this game is a sort of good proof that mechanics being intentional, because this game, for example, would not be as fun if you couldn't glitch through it by mashing space. Yeah, honestly, I think that the agency of glitching, I mean, even with its unpredictable nature, does make the game quite fun. And it has to be intentional, because the last game was just kind of, it was short, but Johnny didn't have any arms and also lacked agency and his ability to shrink. So I appreciate him adding back the shrink mechanic as like a routine thing for him, which also makes me think that this is more like a mythological sort of hero's journey troll related like subconscious thing, right? Because he has a huge nose, but the nose is like something he can use to sort of navigate his environment in like a hilarious way. He's a wizard. He's got like a magical magician power to him, as well as the trickster being like somebody that can shapeshift, like trolls can sort of change to sort of play different roles. So there's that there. I guess so. They wouldn't tell me anything, though. My dad said all the men do it, but I can't know. Yeah, there are very few subsects of Freemasonry that allow women, but generally they do not, so... Probably because I divulge your secrets in a Twitch chat. Probably you would give it through a series of emojis that you could twerk to use the Morse code to be able to decode what the Freemasons thing. To be honest, from my research of the Freemasonry stuff, it's like a series of rituals that you use to like reflect on different like symbols and stuff like that. But beyond that, we don't want to spoil all their secrets. But from what I've seen into it, it's kind of just like a fraternity thing. Hello. The nose is getting longer each time I see him. Not only is it getting longer, but at times Johnny is losing his agency, at times gaining his agency. It's quite interesting to see that oscillation. Johnny had a lot of fan games like the Sally series, and my friend made a series called Mike the Great. Dude, please. I do want to play through the fan games after I get through with 36, and I only knew of the ones that were the fan games for from one guy, because he had like an article from Cubis and his email exchange from him. So I was gonna say, please like give me links or like join my Discord and post the games. I want to play all the fan games when I'm done. I've never heard of the Sally series. I've never heard of Mike the Great. But hello, Brent. How are you? His nose is getting longer. He's getting crazier, and the game is getting more and more stranger as time goes on. Beat it. My score was 12. Okay, interesting. I'm not kidding about Johnny having a lot of fan games. Other fan games include Johnny Sugar Rainbow, Johnny's Nightmare, Johnny's Odyssey, Gravedigger Johnny, Johnny 37, and Johnny 666. Okay, I do actually want to, I want to play them all. So, I want to see what other people, sort of take from the series, because there's a lot here. I'd be curious to see if they take the shrink mechanics, they take the nose mechanics. What in their homage best speaks to them, I wonder. Okay, can I get down here? It's ambitious to think. Oh, maybe I was gonna say, maybe I'm supposed to go left. Okay, I feel like this is a one where you kind of gotta be patient. Can I kill everything here? I think I can. Okay, dodge some bullets. Oh yeah, how's your trailer going, Brent? You were talking about how it was private last time, but how is it now? How is it going? I would like to see bullets that go through the map to make it easier to shoot stuff, but this game really isn't about convenience of the player, is it? Any suggestion I have for convenience can be defenestrated out the window. I guess defenestrated just implies it's already being thrown out a window, which is the nature of the word, but I felt the need to double down. Okay, this guy needs to die. Okay, this is an inopportune. Oh man, I thought I had it. Can we just... You said spam quite a bit, but I haven't been using the spam. I've been just sort of taking the levels as they are. Okay, I feel I can get down here. Oh. You gotta know when to get down and when not. That's the problem with Johnny's big nose. He doesn't know when to get down, when to put in, when to put out, when to put it in, when to put it out. There's a lot of vacillation here between noses and genres and game design and random enemies that he's hitting with his nose first and asking questions later. Sometimes you think he knows, but then he doesn't, you know? And then when he doesn't, Johnny knows what he can't know because he knows where he has been, but he doesn't know where he's going because he knows based on where he was, you know? That's how it is. That's how the Johnny world plays. Because Johnny's nose, it's like a missile. Okay, is this guy blocking my way? Or can I pass? Okay, there's something there. I'm going to pre-fire it. Shoot first, ask questions later. That's a Johnny. It's a Johnny move. It's a Janesian thing to do. Very Johnny-esque. Okay, is there something up here that I got to worry about? Nice. I'm doing good, mate. I've been working super hard on getting Thirsty Princess on Steam. I think I'm going to make the page public on Saturday. Dude, I'm so excited to add it to wishlist. You said you had a lot of work left to do. What do you have to do left on it? I'm curious. The games only get better, and I am not the only one who thinks so. So you're in for the fun. I cannot wait. Also, if it would be possible, please give me moderator so my messages would send without trouble. Yeah, I can do that. I don't know how to do that on YouTube, so I'll have to do that after the stream. Oh yeah, is it giving you like a censorship thing or something? Does YouTube like auto censor, auto mod or something? That's crazy. Stupid. I hate censorship for stuff like that. Yeah, it's still currently unlisted, but when I make the Steam page public, I'm gonna set the trailer to public too. Okay. Trailer for what? I've been so absent. Agreed. So much Vaseline. Agreed. So much Vaseline. He's working on Thirsty Princess. It's one of the games that he has. It's like a 4-player arena, like brawler kind of party game thing. So he's cooking that up. I'm very excited to see the release of it. Can I feel like I want to get up there. Nice. Okay, there is actually a platform down there. I was not expecting that. Okay. Okay. Man, these platforms are leagues better from what they were. Oh, interesting. Do I want to go here? I feel like I hit a wall. Okay, there we go. I made a trailer for my game. Smile. Having such a long nose must increase the difficulty of the game a lot. It's actually interesting because what it does increase for sure is like this random teleportation in this game. Like he randomly will just teleport when his nose hits any vertical wall, which makes it a little bizarre. And the jump is also inconsistent this time, which is something we have not seen in the Johnny series. Like, it's hard to say when he's gonna full jump and when he's not gonna full jump, and also hitting something head on just sort of, you know, maybe that's what it's trying to communicate though. It's trying to communicate that when you hit something head first, you can't know where you're gonna end up, right? Johnny's asking you not to think with your erect nose outward. You gotta pragmatically rationalize through things. That's what he's trying to say. See, like sometimes you get head first and you get too in over your head. That's what the symbolic nature of getting above is here. We're getting a little in over our head because we're leading with our nose. Which is ironic because you think using the nose you would know the situation better, but that's not the case. Look, I led with my nose there. How much of this level is there? Oh my god, okay. We got work to do, guys. Johnny's got to put in the shifts. Okay, I think if I wait like a little bit, though, the monsters will just find their way off the cliff. Maybe I should just shoot constantly. Luckily, my nose can grapple onto the platforms. Yeah, this game feels pretty good out of some of the other iterations we've played here. Okay, we got to go under. Do we have to go under? Boss level. I got my eye on you. Oh, interesting. Oh, this boss is kind of cool. So he follows you. And you have to use the platforms, which you don't move with, to shoot. That's kind of interesting. I do wonder if we're going to see boss health for any of this stuff either. Okay. So wait a minute. Can we get down? Oh. Oh. Okay. I got a vision. There we go. There we go. This is the spot. This is a sweet spot. Now I can catch up. I did a lot of work yesterday and today to build the website, but I think the website is at a point where I'm happy to share it too. But I'll share it when I make the Steam page public as well because the trailer's on there. Awesome. I can't wait to see it, dude. I'm back. Did I miss anything? You have not missed anything. We're finishing the final boss. The jump isn't consistent. That's one of the only things that's been rather consistent each Johnny game. It's true. I've defeated the one-eyed creep. My score is 79. 79? You said you got 12? Said you got 12? I think you said you got 12. Okay. 79 seems kind of high. Maybe the pacifist route is the way to go. Or maybe I just killed too much stuff. I don't know. Sounds like you did spam the jump between, so. Yeah, the jump has been pretty much the only consistent thing, but if there's one thing we know about Kim is that he's regularly going to deconstruct anything that is consistent. If it isn't the end of the levels, which was kind of the thing that I've seen transition between the last few Johnny games, is that the end of the level isn't always the right-hand side of the screen. Sometimes it requires random steps of invisible switches and things like that. Definitely the jump is also... It's also something that can be modified. Maybe get Johnny 15 done today. Yeah, I am thinking of doing 15 too. We'll do 15. Kim can't be getting you can't have you getting too comfortable. As soon as I start to learn how the game works, that's when he throws a wrench in my plan and gives me something else to deal with. Boss level, yeah. Yeah, awesome boss. Also fall down on the right, the boss you need to kill him. Yeah, I figured it out. You become a master. Dude, after spending 2 hours fighting that boss in the second game, I finally succeeded. We'll see if any of the bosses give me trouble. Fuzzy, beautiful emote. Yes, moonified nodders. Johnny 16 would be really surprising. All right, we'll see what we do. We'll try 15, and then we'll go from there. I got some dogs to watch later today. I'm helping out a friend, so I got to eat before this. But let's see if we can do 15. I don't think any of the games are going to be as long as Johnny 9. Johnny 9 was prolifically long, and it had a lot of levels. All right, is everybody ready? Also, let me warn you, because I am kind enough to do that. Johnny 34's mini-boss is not safe for work. Okay, so watch Saint's playthrough when you get to Johnny 34 to know when to turn off the screen. Okay, that's actually very helpful. Thank you. Especially because I'm streaming it live. I would have just waltzed into that. Not safe for work? What was he thinking? I thought these were PG games, bro. I thought I was a PG gamer. What the hell is Johnny doing? Okay, start a new game, press enter. To load a previously saved game, press backspace. Okay, we don't have any information about shrinking, so I'm going to presume that he's removed that ability in this one. Man, what I would have killed for a second bullet type, man. Some variation in this bullet would have been absolutely beautiful. These guys kind of remind me of something. I don't know what. Oh, I guess it's like a joystick, right? He's like a happy joystick. My nose is also smaller, but I'm still a PG gamer. Ooh, balls. Never thought I'd be excited to see some different shape in the Johnny world, but I've been so used to rectangles and squares. He probably put enter in because he knows this is bullshit, right? These things just sort of... Is there a point? I don't... Maybe there... Oh. Okay, we still got some teleportation happening here. I kind of like the vibe of this one. I feel like I'm in a cave. I'm like spelunking. You got these gemstone-looking creatures that are kicking my ass. The carbonic acid from these stalagmites, I think. I think they are stalagmites. So when I think stalactites, I think like tits and I think hang. The same way I remember latitude and longitude. Oh wait, no. That doesn't make sense either. But I guess I think for latitude, I think like they're parallel, horizontal together, and then I think longitude is like long and hanging. Whatever. Everyone comes up with their own mnemonics. Yeah, you don't need to talk about mine. It doesn't matter what mine are. Man, I'm already ready for Johnny 34, dude. Woo! This game's really getting me. Get me today. Love this umbrella. What's the weather up there? It's Johnny. What do I do here? I feel like I go down. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, my, okay. Johnny, please. Save some for the rest of us. This utter Chad. The bullet feels... Okay, so the last game, the bullet was like... It wouldn't go upwards. Interesting. But this, like, it would go up, but, like, not when you hit, right, like, jump all the time. Like, you had to aim it. Okay, what are we doing here? There's stuff I can't see below me. It's killing me. Johnny's smaller in this one, though. Much more manageable. His size and his ego, his sense of self is reduced. I still have Johnny Don't Leave Me, Don't Run Away, Stay With Me for the Rest of the Day song from Johnny stuck in my head. To be honest, the one I have stuck in my head is that Speedy Gonzalez song from 2 stuck in my head perpetually. Okay, we can't... I'm trying to scaffold down patiently, but Johnny isn't a game that rewards patience. It's a chaotic undertaking that requires of you... It requests that you meet each obstacle with a different level of choice. Okay, there we go. I'm starting with you again to play it. Awesome. Already got to the next background stage. Dude, you've beaten these though. You know what's happening. You know what's there. You're cooking. Press nose? Is that what that says? I don't want to go down there. I'm fearful of what lies deeply below. Wow, there's a lot of enemies here. When I see a lot of enemies, I think, man, do I gotta go left? Johnny's already teaching me different things. When it appears possible, I decide a different avenue is the choice. Okay, we've killed some of them. Let's see if we can... I feel like I'm taking damage, but I don't know. Okay. Nice. Let's push the wall. I see we still have the corner screen push. Okay. These happy joysticks, these joyful joysticks. Oh yeah, I remember in the beginning listening to Speedy Gonzalez song. That was good times. Yeah, good times. That's what you call it. It's trauma for me, not being able to shoot left. I never thought a video game would ever do something that horrible. I'd never really conceived of a 5-headed Cerberus boss that you can't shoot left of, but that you spawn right of. That was truly Kim's magnum opus at that level. Okay. You know, this is kind of like life, though, right? You're always pushing the edge of the screen. You can't see what's coming. I guess, you know, he really captured that aspect of it perfectly, I think. Like, as much as you want to see what's coming, there's always some enemy or obstacle that's lurking at the edge of the screen that you're unaware of. Sometimes you gotta take these leaps of faith and just hope that there's something to stand on. Look at this, is getting more symbolic and relevant as time goes on. Look at, I can use my fire bullets. Okay, not these though. That guy just happens to be so curiously below me. To hit my feet, ruining the foundation of my standing. I'm watching Willow. That's interesting you're watching Willow, because I just was watching Hungry Goria's Let's Play of the NES game for Willow, and I thought, man, that's a game I want to play. That looks awesome. And I've never even heard of the movie Willow. I don't even know what it's about. I just thought, man, the game looks dope. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, maybe I go up and over. Yep, this is a Johnny game, huh? This is how this has got to work. Nope. Thwarted again. Interesting. Okay. We have options. Speedy Gonzalez is so much more annoying than Kim's original MIDI music. I like this music Kim composes, though, even if it's weird. Johnny 25 has really good music, and it's not MIDI. I do prefer this random rather than like a chosen song. It kind of just feels like weird ambient noise. I would have liked to have seen with him composing his own music, like actively composing monster noises and stuff like that, or like maybe not a bullet noise since the bullets shoot like there's so many bullets. It would be terrible. It would be just a redundant machine gun over and over again. You'd never hear the end of it. But maybe like a death noise for Johnny, or like a hurt noise so that I could tell when I was being hurt. I mean, I know these are a deconstruction of the genre, but I guess it makes me appreciate like the ways that games sort of give you information. And one of the useful things of information would be like, hey, I'm getting hit. Hey, you're doing terrible. You know? Okay, there was luck involved in this level. I need the enemies to not hit my feet like this. Like, I can't do anything about that. I have to kill what lies before me and then pray. Okay, they're tall enough. Oh, no, he just keeps... He's camping me, dude. Spawn camping my feet. I don't know what to do. I gotta get out of here. Okay. Let's just shoot there. I'll catch up. Whoop. I zoomed in. That's weird. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Cody, I won't be able to stay. I actually took some melatonin to help sleep tonight before I noticed you were streaming. Gotta wake up early tomorrow, but I'll stick around lurking and be cheering for you. Hopefully I can watch the VOD of you doing some game dev. While doing some game dev tomorrow. I appreciate you coming out at all, Brent. I know this is, you're in Australia and your time zone is different. And I know that there will be many more opportunities for you to, experience Johnny as it comes. Maybe even get some of your own game design for if we do a Johnny game jam, a Johnny Addo game jam. So thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. There will be many more. Get your sleep. You need it. You've been working hard. I'm on the same screen. Oh my god, it's a classic. It is a classic. The movie Willow. I have not seen Willow. I don't know what it's about. It just looks weird, but the game looked good. The NES game actually looked like super playable, super fun. The mechanics I thought were interesting was whenever a fight starts in the NES game, the wind starts blowing. So it's like you can it shows like when stuff is happening. If you're on the same screen, how do we beat this, buddy? Actually, don't tell me. I want to figure it out. It's got to take some luck and some figuring out. And I had a lucky run where I killed everything, but I just didn't know where to go. Right was not the solution. I gotta run, got an appointment with my college advisor. Good luck, Jazz. Have a great day. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for experiencing Johnny with us. Hopefully this sticks in your mind as much as it does mine. And you can use it for your further game design endeavors. Which reminds me, you better schedule your college class with me teaching you Game Maker so that we can make more Johnny games. That's what this is about, right? The content, the quality. No, it was a pleasure seeing you. Have a great day. Oh, man, I was so close, dude. Kim released full-length albums. It was a Hobbit before the Hobbit. That's kind of the vibe I got from it, but I wasn't sure. Did Willow lay the groundwork for the Hobbit series or something? I honestly do not know. I know nothing about the movie other than the game, and I thought the game looked fascinating. Oh, man, dude. I couldn't sleep either because they were blowing up Ukraine, and I could only stay up because the explosions were too loud. Are you in Ukraine or something right now? The Johnny games at a time like this. That's crazy. Tumultuous. The chaotic nature of these games. Okay, where do I go, though? To be honest. Okay, I suppose I can explore the underside here. I feel like when I killed all these guys, the balls deleted themselves. Because I remember falling down. Maybe this is a different level, but I'm just not sure because it's so confusing. I know Kim did release full-length albums. I heard parts of them. There's like a couple YouTubers that post a lot of them. I don't know where they get them from. Maybe like old websites or old rips or something. But oh, I can actually potentially defend myself against the bottom ones. There's that learned helplessness again. I think I'm unable to do anything in this environment, this limited environment, but I'm proven wrong again and again. Look at all the variation of movement I'm capable of doing here. It's kind of interesting. Okay, I took damage there, which is not what I wanted, but the ambiguity of life truly is the ultimate suffering. Okay. So I think I went up here, but I don't want to hit too far. There must be an invisible platform or something. Oh, yeah, see when you go up left, the ground removes itself. So maybe I need to get back into this hole, this tunnel, and then retread my steps. That seems like something Kim would make me do. That seems like a Kim move. So maybe I just go up, left, remove the balls, and then I re-enter. Oh, man, dude. If only the collision was good, dude. That would have been so easy. Oh, man. I kind of thought I had a position there, but it was not as good as I thought it was. Okay, double gem guys is too much. I can do, like, maybe one gem guy. Okay, let's get up here. Let's do this again. And let's see if we can get in. Oh, man, you really can't hit that edge at all. Okay. I'm suspecting that's the end. I am suspecting that is the end goal of this level. The execution of which is going to be difficult. Okay. So we go over here. I'm getting more consistent, but... Oh, man, bro. #1 Johnny fan in Ukraine. Well, that's awesome to hear, dude. Johnny fan all the way in Ukraine. Yeah, that's... Sounds tumultuous, though, if it's that loud. That's a little crazy. I'm sorry you have to go through that. I don't know anything about what it would be like to go through a situation like that, so... All I can do is provide the entertainment of playing the Johnny games. I feel like this is the answer. Yo-Yo games getting shut down was even more devastating than Flash shutting down because at least Flash games still exist with Ruffle. They have a Yo-Yo games database where you can download all the Yo-Yo games and stuff like that. You should look it up. I found quite a bit of old games from my childhood on there. It's a database, and you can search if you know the developer's name. You can search by that. There's also some... I don't remember if there's tags or not, but they have all the old Yo-Yo games. Most of them, anyways. Not all of the ones I remember, but... Nice! Look at that, dude. This has got to be the end. What? Are you serious? There's no way. I was convinced, dude. Okay, there's something weird happening here. Worst elements of Johnny that will stay up until the end of the series. Invisible goal triggers. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm experiencing here. This is probably the worst game design element. Is the invisible triggers. It would have... I would have actually appreciated had Kim done the invisible goal trigger, but like show it visible at least one time so that we know that they exist, right? It's kind of annoying. That was my problem with Johnny 11, was that I could not see them, and I didn't see anything happening or shifting or changing, so I didn't know what was going on. I'll kill this guy. I don't think there's a reason to kill him, because all these balls are just going to go away. But now I have to find the invisible goal trigger. So this is a goal here. I'm assuming this is iterative or something. So there's got to be a second one somewhere. like the worst aspect of like a Mario Maker level, but because it's Game Maker, he can do whatever he wants. So we already know it's not in the tunnel. The tunnel is pretty hard to actually hit. So, man, how do I even want to do this? Maybe just jump really far. Ugh, it's gonna suck. If you want another life-changing, transcendent, boundary-breaking, unique Game Maker game, please do the LalaLand series. They are from 2006 and only take 15 minutes to complete, but stay with you forever. Interesting. The LalaLand game series. I'll have to find that. Oh, actually, I think I watched a video on that. Isn't that a video on your channel? I was scoping through some stuff at some point. I don't remember who it was. I remember finding an article for the LalaLand series or something like that. And it was like somebody breaking down like why the games were so impressionable to them, but it was like a web archive link. Alright, where is this invisible trigger? Do I just have to fall into each area? I'm going to fall in this black square. Nope. Okay. Actually, maybe I should go underneath this thing and hang left. I feel like Kim would make it as hard as possible, right? It's not going to be convenient. It never is going to be convenient. I guess it is a sort of puzzle game mechanic to have these invisible triggers, but it's terrible. Even a noise would be nice. Okay, so down. I found it. It's under left. I fucking knew it. Kim would totally do some shit like that. Okay, moving kills you. That's good to know. Or maybe there's just an invisible... Oh, okay. This is a minefield of invisible triggers is what this is. Nice. This level is early peak game design. Okay, there's something. So, okay, we gotta do 3. So 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. Just full jump. Okay, maybe just max jump it. Okay, no, you have to do 3 here. And then you can sort of okay, these guys need to die. That was what needs to happen first. They gotta go. They gotta go. Get them out. Get them out! I'm so dead. I knew it. Okay, we gotta get lucky, too. They gotta go, and then we gotta get lucky. Okay. And then this is basically just pick a door, but much worse. Okay, we go left. Try to dodge a few of these. My nose is huge, unfortunately. Okay, 3. Max jump. Nope. 3, 4. 3. 3. 3. It's like 3, 5 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This level sucks, Kim. The hell were you thinking? If I could even call it thinking. This Joker is shit. Okay. 5. I think this is a max jump too. Yeah. And then I think this is like probably like a 3 as a 2. Okay. Thank God we beat it. That was just luck. This level is very frustrating. Yeah. It was pretty frustrating, but at least it was like communicated what was happening. Like you can see on screen what's happening. I would prefer like there's like a mine here that actually blows it up and telegraph it. It's kind of amazing that you could actually take these deconstructed elements from game design and make something that is fun and shows you what's happening. Like you could probably recreate this exact game and just add a few details to it and it would be infinitely funner. That's actually something I want to try doing with some of the later games if they are like really bad. Is like change like 1 to 2 things, recompile it, and then like show how you still retain the essence of the game, but you can make it like much more fun and playable without this like. But obviously you're removing some of Kim's vision, right? Because perhaps some of what he was dealing with was this, like, he felt reality was oppressive in some way, right? Which the child does, when you play pretend, this idea that the world is, has a lot of potential and it's fun and engaging and interesting to be in, but then the reality of the situation is it's much more chaotic. It's much more, to the child at least, it's much more insensible, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people sort of kill the puer, the eternal boy, when you grow up, right? Is because the world doesn't afford a space for the child to sort of play pretend anymore. Or at least that's what people think. They think they have to, like, leave it behind, this aspect of imaginative curiosity and play. And so perhaps the world does feel as oppressive, and its rules are unknown, and that's something that he's dealing with in each game, right? He's dealing with this chaotic world where it's always ever-changing. It's never stable. Johnny remains slightly consistent, but his weaknesses are ever-changing and growing, and his capacity, his agency, this fire gun, this man-made Promethean fire that he can utilize to engage with reality, this sort of creative and destructive force in tandem, it has varying amounts of legibility in the world that he deals with. I think that's probably some of what I'm picking up from this. And that could just be me projecting my own reality onto what this is. We don't know much about Kim other than what he's left behind, the games and the albums. But we do know that he was trying to be authentically himself. He was trying to reach some sort of play, just playing around with these different mechanics and things like that. But I do see this sort of the little prince here. This perception of reality that is antagonistic to him and his existence in it, which is often the reason why people choose drugs and things like that for escapism, right? It's because the reality is not tolerable. Some people do it for recreation, some people do it for fun, some people do it to get into different mind states and stuff, but it is something very much used for escapism. Like, oh, if I could just think a different way, I could understand how these people work. I could understand this function. I could deal with this reality that I'm in, this hostile and oppressively chaotic, unpredictable reality that I feel like my agency is being robbed in or something like that. So instead, I'm going to create a game that sort of cathartically lets me face that and then release it for other people to play. But it's more forgiving because there's at least saving and loading here, where in real life there's no saving and loading. Like, you have tooth decay because of some problem or drug or something, you're never getting those teeth back unless you pay for fake teeth. The reason I say teeth is because I believe Kim lost a lot of his teeth as time goes on. And something I see a lot of in people that have like a sort of psychic breakdown or something like that is that they have some sort of chronic pain that they can't deal with. I mean, even Nietzsche dealt with like migraines and headaches. You think about artists like Vincent van Gogh has like constant stomach pains, which I believe are probably parasites, because his only relief was drinking. I can't say it on YouTube. Actually, YouTube gave me a thing. I can't say what he drank on there. I can say that he drank wormwood or absinthe or something, but I can't say the other thing that he would recreationally drink. So you can go look that up if you want to figure out what else he drank, which is actually an old wives' tale remedy. Maybe saying old wives' tale, isn't it? I'm belying too much information here. But anyways, he suffered from chronic stomach pain, which I suspect were other things. And his art sort of had that sort of struggle, and there was escapism there of different things. Granted, the venereal diseases that he got from the prostitutes that he regularly partook in and didn't help either. And I believe syphilis is something that degrades your mind over time as well, so that's also worth noting. But regardless, some of what I said could be true. I don't know. I'm all speculating here. Even I cannot defend this level. Not to make rough assumptions, but I think you just described why Cubist couldn't have possibly lived any longer. Our world is just too unfit for something as otherworldly as this. I do think you're right. I think that's often the problem with these artists, right? You have these really seemingly bright, right? And I say seemingly bright because they're bright in the way that they don't rigidly adhere to directly what society has laid out to them. They are people that can sort of see beyond the boundaries, and that also contributes to their ability to cope with the reality that they're in, right? It's difficult to pretend to be something you're not for so long, in the same way that it's difficult to not be honest with yourself, because in some sense you lose the self that you could be for the self that society wants you to be. And so that is probably the biggest challenge of the people that burn so bright but also burn out so quickly, because reality is too hostile to them, whether it's in the conformity of trying to force you to adhere to the lowest common denominator standard, or whether it's forgiving enough for people that are different to still get their social, the things that humans need to live. Their Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the people that the friends that they could have, things like that. I think that's one thing that the internet does do better. But I think with the corporatized internet, it also enforces this sort of standard and conformity in a way unlike ever before. And there's also this atomizing aspect too, whereas we are globalizing in positive ways of being able to transverse different cultures and meet different people we wouldn't otherwise meet. I mean, I'm talking to you right now, and you're in Ukraine, like all the way on the other side of the world. We're both speaking English. We can communicate with each other to some extent because of the soft powers of different nations and the cultures that they have and the understanding that comes between that. But and in ways it also is like atomizing, because it's easier for groups to form. It's easier for media to control, if it is just by certain corporate aspects, to control the allowed expression of humanity. We can see that sort of stuff with even what's happening with games right now with that Australian collective shout thing. Like, some of these games are just like stupid adult games. I say stupid because they're not like intended to be. At least I don't think. I haven't played them, but that's a big assumption on my part. Let's not call them stupid. That's just me judging them. They are just games, right? There are people making games. Some of them are products. Some of them may be trying to say stuff. But at the end of the day, they are just games. And whether you choose to engage with them or not is your choice as a consumer. Steam has a lot of protections for children not finding those sort of things. And I actually read quite a bit about this Australian group, too. I was reading, I forget what her name is. It's like Melinda something. But I was reading some of her books. She has some books about, like, one of them is like this, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like this. Is it like an apologist book? Is that the best way to describe it? It's basically a bunch of anecdotal stories of women who believe that their lives were ruined by their husbands watching porn or something. And there's actually some salient truth, not in that stuff, but in like the way that these women talk about their therapist, and like the therapists are saying like, yo, this isn't about porn. This is about you. Like, this is about your problem and like what you're willing to accept, and whatever your thoughts on porn are, whatever your thoughts on adult entertainment are, it doesn't matter. But what I do think is I see the sanitization, the sterilization of what we're allowed to say in different spaces. And perhaps that's just my collective experience. Perhaps you've felt something different. Perhaps you feel you can express yourself in any way you want. But I do see that the media and different sites sort of curb and affect what you're allowed to express. And I notice that a lot of people are shying away, like as even if it's just not a deliberate choice, even if it's not a deliberate choice to allow certain speech or certain media or things like that. And I'm not even, dude, I swear I'm not trying to do some like, I am some like paragon of wanting to have free speech or something. No, it's not even about that. It's just that perhaps just like Adam Smith's invisible hand of how the capitalistic society sort of encourages and discourages things, because kids' entertainment brings in so much revenue on YouTube and stuff like that. Everything is becoming like more and more sanitized as parents don't want to sort of educate their children and even raise them anymore, like, and that's probably just like a boomer take. I don't think all kids are on iPads. I can see the benefit of the internet and connecting people with different groups and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to be, it's really hard. I'm trying to be central and nuanced about this, but it does annoy me. There is a serialization, I think, of what we allow to accept. And I see that in the old fairy tales that I read too. Like some of them are anglicized and Christianified, and they like cut the teeth, they like dull them, like drill into what makes humanity and sort of and excise it. And then you have all these people that are really interested in like horror games and stuff like that, and all this blood and gore, and they want to see like these things psychically, even. And then that doesn't mean that they want to participate in it in real life. It just means that psychically this is something that naturally people have to absorb and deal with in everyday life. And there's like a sanitization of it. There's a removal of allowing the agency of people to navigate these things the way they want to navigate them. And I find that annoying. In the same way that parents don't want to raise their kids, they want like all these media corporations to raise their kids. They want the media corporation to not allow their children to see certain things. And maybe the reality is that kids shouldn't be allowed on the internet until they're a certain age, till they're more developed. I don't know. Whatever the science says, there's obviously a debate to be had on that. But that's some of my brief, unthought out. I know I kind of wandered a lot in this topic here, as I face the same thing over and over again and pray that the outcome is slightly different, building my insanity over and over again. Something I dislike about this level specifically is I notice that there are black bullets, and the top left of this entire screen is black, so I can't actually tell what's hitting me and what's not hitting me. It's like a terrible, like a design of, I was just talking about the puer facing reality, and these are hostile things that forces you can't even see. You don't know what's hitting you. You don't know what's damaging you. You can't even understand it or conceive of it. That's an ultimate problem to deal with here. Is there a way I can fight this guy without, or should I just jump over? Perhaps this is just an obstacle I must pass up. Okay, so sorry. I had a lot of random things here. I'll catch up. My bad. Not to make, I described why I couldn't live longer, yep. He made a movie called Smells Like Rotten Teeth, which starts with the words, "Oh, it's a wrong movie." Wait, I lost my place. "Oh, it's a wrong movie, heh. His tooth decay is because of snus and chewing tobacco." Gotcha. Half of non-movie video footage he uploaded on the internet were chewing tobacco reviews. I did not know that. That's very interesting. I rate Johnny Games as self-actualization. I think that's probably a pretty good way to put it. The Johnny Games are a walking process of self-actualization. It's disappointing to see that Kim ended up like dying, because I do feel that these are sort of the cathartic undertaking of somebody who's trying to piece together something deeper in his psyche and become actualized and self-aware of it. Internet after 2020s would have made Cubists cry. I'm interested to see why you would think that, but I do agree. Even if it's just the authenticity dying more and more, or harder to find, I should say. It's not that authenticity is dying. I see people more authentic than ever. They just are on different areas and corners of the internet specifically. Morning Hammer, how are you? What are you working on today? Kim uploaded a video where he showed his favorite TV channel. His favorite TV channel is White Noise Static. He accidentally changed the channel to a melodrama and screamed saying, "Continue." Screamed saying, "You have to be careful about the channels you watch on TV. You wouldn't believe some shit that people are watching on TV." This is just rephrasing, but that is how I remember his words from that vlog. That makes a lot of sense, because it's like, I also think a lot about you are what you consume sort of thing, or even if it's not, I don't want to parrot the like, the like traditional moms that are like, if you just play GTA all the time, all you're going to think about is violence. I don't think that's true. I just think like there's a limit of what you can think about, and that is, and that you do absorb, maybe even spiritually, of some of the things that you take in. Everything you do becomes a part of you. It's like memories that you add to the chronology of your life. So I can see that, yeah, some of the stuff on TV, like, do you really want to believe that? Like, let's say you're watching a show, and the show has, like, this archetypical symbol of, like, what makes a man great. And, like, the sitcoms, take, like, sitcoms, something that my girlfriend and I talk about a lot. It's, like, these sitcoms of these, like, helpless men that are, like, man children, that was like a really popular thing in like the 90s and early 2000s. You have like King of Queens, you have like Everybody Loves Raymond, like these weird like man-children men archetypes that are like helpless. They don't really contribute to the house. They sort of just work their job. They're like petulant at times. They don't think like very rationally, or that their rationalization is from like a childlike mind space of like always losing, rather than like a giving mindset or something like that. It's weird to think about. It's weird to think that these things, these impressions in your psyche sort of thing, like, yeah, you might as well just watch the black and white static, because at least black and white, you know, it's something you can see and conceive and sort of come up with your own conclusions about. But when you watch like different stuff, you know, well, you got to think about like how much are you learning from this, and if you are learning from it, do you need to unlearn it? Is this something useful to you? So something like that. What the heck did I turn into? Well, we are playing the Johnny series by Kimberly Kubis, and this is Johnny 14, I think 15. We're on one of them. So this is sort of, I guess this is probably what Johnny incentivizes, this sort of communication, this conversation about authenticity and what you should and shouldn't, or, you know, maybe this is just self-actualization. What this is the process of walking through the hero's journey of Johnny and seeing what he can and can't do. But we're speculating on a lot of stuff here, so take it with a grain of salt. True kids entertainment can actually be good. My favorite movie is an 80s 3-hour Chilean low fantasy surrealist TV movie for children, and it is extremely beautiful. Well, you can't just say that and not drop the name, dude. I want to know what that is. Tell me what it is. Chilean movie? Come on, man. Fantasy? I gotta know. Johnny 25 has absolute black bullets on the absolute black background screen, and this is almost nothing compared to that. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know, dude. That sounds horrible. I can't. I'm not looking forward to playing that, but we'll get there. Riot from Fuzzy. What keeps us met with TV, I think, is that you can lose your creativity if you enjoy uncreative things, and that is why Jinx Tengu defines AI art as hypermaterialism that is dangerous to the mind. I can see that. I can very much see that. Because yeah, it is hypermaterialism. It's offsetting. It's like bystandering your soul, right? Because where you could have creative, and I think AI, for me personally, I think AI is a double-edged sword. There's a lot of programming stuff I've learned through AI that has helped me be more authentic in my own art. So I can see the value from it from there. But if you use it to divest yourself of your own free will and your own honest like self, it's the same way I don't really like assets for video games. Like, you're essentially relying on somebody else's art to try to communicate something that's yours. Like, I would rather play a Johnny game that scribbles and scrawls and terrible stuff than like somebody just using like an asset pack or something. And I understand there's a way to learn through doing stuff like that, but I ultimately always find the human capacity with all of its imperfections as much more enjoyable than, you know, something made with just AI even. You know, that's obviously one of the problems with AI, is that it sort of commodifies. It sort of finds these patterns, looking from the outside in, but it doesn't have the inner soul that makes art, sort of thing. It doesn't have the inner potential that art could have to represent something. So that's something I think about quite often. I've been unlearning doubt these past 2 weeks. That's awesome to hear, Fuzzy. That is something I played around with in my game, Jump Off the Bridge, with my self-doubt level. So I'm excited to see if that manifests in any of your stuff. What have you been doing to unlearn doubt? Have you just been recklessly taking action regardless of what the inner critic says? Let me know. I'm curious. Some may hate Johnny games, but we couldn't have ever had these amazing philosophical observations with mainstream AAA plus game. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't, and it's not to say that they don't ever reach that point. I just think because there's so many people that have their hands in that proverbial pie that is a AAA game, and it's like sanitized to a certain level, like you're not, I don't know. It's we're having a conversation about a person that existed and is expressing himself through each of these games, sort of thing. So there's another element here. There's a single person behind all of this, and we sort of know the chronology of his life, as unfortunately he's not with us anymore. And so that offers quite a bit about existentialism, eschatological beginnings and endings of life and the meaning of it and things like that. So I do think you can have conversations like these with AAA games, but I think that they are leery in wanting to go down those routes, right? Because saying something is also not only picking a side, but it's also not saying something. And games, AAA games specifically, are focused on the lowest common denominator, right? They want to reach the most audience. They want to pander to as much as possible because profit margin is more important than artistic integrity. And so often saying nothing is better than saying something, because committing to saying something is picking a side. It is saying something, and saying something requires you to obviously say something. That's what it is. Something I haven't seen in these games, which is very interesting, is even with all of the weird mechanics he's been playing with, none of the things have ever repeated a level. Like, he doesn't go back to a level. You're always making progress, assuming that you sort of do the level, right? That's pretty interesting. There's no like backtracking. He wasn't lazy about you having to redo everything over again, which I think is kind of compelling. It's sort of like life happens and you don't go back sort of thing. Like, there is some sort of life aspect of life goes on. Here we are, this is our new reality. This is what we got to deal with. You can't go back to the past. There is some optimistic thing about that in these games. A very philosophical Johnny thing compared to me complaining about the annoying mechanics yesterday. Oh, man, some of those Johnny games, dude, they were killing me. I could feel myself taking psychic damage, bro. I didn't think I was going to make it. But I am appreciating them more today. This is something that just sort of needs to ferment, right? You play the game, you think about it, you think about Kim, you think about what he managed to achieve here. And I'm appreciative of that. I'm also appreciative that my huge, fat nose finds its way to block me from making any amount of progress because I keep teleporting under the map. This also feels like a random invisible trigger, invisible platforms. It's interesting that he takes certain mechanics and he doesn't continue them, because the invisible platforms was something that was before. Should I just go hard left? I don't know. Interesting. I don't like itch.io games as much as Cubist games because most of them lack inspired sincerity despite being indie. Like, they still try to conform and appeal to the popular audience too much. I do agree with that, yeah. I do agree that, there's... And that's probably... maybe it's just the way the culture is moving. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a primitive, like, I'm gonna do just to do here. And maybe that's just because the only stuff you see on itch.io is the stuff that rises to the top. But even them, they're subjecting right now to collective shout, I believe. So we'll see what the nature of the ability to express yourself looks like on itch.io pretty soon here. I feel like everybody's going to sort of have to regress, which I don't know if it's necessarily a regression, but it's a regression in the terms of like the modern things the internet affords to you. Everybody's going to have to go back to just having a personal website where we post whatever you feel like. So that you don't have to deal with these people that can't handle a little bit of whatever it is, sexuality, some taboo topic that somebody has decided because their husband looked at porn one time and it ruined their whole marriage, I guess. Which, whatever. Okay, it was to the right, but it was not what I expected. It was a leap of faith. A lot of self-help videos and extreme deliberate talking to myself about things. Interesting. Well, I am curious to see what that manifests like for you, Fuzzy. Something I admire about your game design is that it is an honest foray into somebody both learning games and trying to authentically express themselves. That's what I like about your work. It feels closer to the Johnny games, if you will. Not in terms of like, unfun to play. You are making things that are more and more fun as each iteration plays. The games give you more and more agency. Like my... avoiding all the spiders for the last game that you made. That was pretty funny. And that's something I do like about your game design. It feels like you make it just to make it sometimes. Oh my, invisible triggers galore. My favorite Kimberly Cubis mechanic. The minefield of invisible things. Oh, I see. This, this level is gonna suck, dude. At least there's no monsters, I guess. There's some cope here. Okay. Do I have to go down this hole? No. Oh my. Okay, there's a thought experiment here. Do I have to go back to go? Okay. Oh shit. Okay, okay, we can't. There's something over there. There's something in the water. Okay, we gotta jump high. We can hit this one. All of these don't. There's nothing over here that's invisible. Yeah, I don't see anything over here. Okay. Is there something over here? Okay, there's something right there that's invisible. It's like right in that middle one that's the problem. This one doesn't matter. This one over here. Okay, and then we gotta jump over. Oh. Okay. Oh, good. Great. Jump off the bridge. Hey, I might have played that game if it was advertised as a Fadian game. I don't remember. Was it on Glorious Trainwrecks? I don't have a Steam account. Maybe it's a fake memory. Glorious Trainwrecks. I don't know. I haven't seen Glorious Trainwrecks. Don't have a Steam account, bro. We're gonna make one for you. We gotta make you a Steam account. I'll send you a free copy of my game. You can play it. I think you would like it. Some people call it a Fadian game, but that's not really what my intention was. It sort of started out just like a fun project, and then I felt like myself slipping into, which is probably my own hero's journey of some sense. I felt myself slipping into trying to please my audience rather than please myself, and then I sort of hit the artist block of not wanting to work on it anymore. And then as I work with it more and more now, I see myself being more and more authentic. I just released a level where the goal of the level is actually, the level just straight up crashes if you fail it. It's pretty funny. It's a bug. It's a cockroach in a Jeep that drives towards the player, and you have to do some kind of absurd thing to navigate it. So I feel like I'm being more honest and more authentic in that game design as time goes on, and I am inspired by these games. So I think you would like it. At times it's difficult, but I try to be forgiving, and I'm getting more forgiving with my game design, so we'll see what the game ends up looking like in the future. And then most of my audience is, most of the fans of the game are Chinese, which is interesting too, because there's like a cultural gap that I try to bridge. So that's pretty fun. These enemies look like shrimp. I like their eyes. I'll have to see that. Hello, Jade. Welcome. I love your whatever that is. The twerking or something like that. That's beautiful. No, there was a time in the early 2020s when I played about 5% of all itch.io, so I was an extreme fan of platform. Even some popular games still feel zany just for the sake of being zany. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Jade, all these emotes you've added are amazing. I never posted my game on itch.io. It's only ever been on Steam, so I don't actually know what Glorious Trainwrecks is. But I do agree that a lot of itch.io games are just being zany for the sake of, they're trying to access some popularity, I think, is what ends up happening. You must stand on the 6th circle, lean left, and then do a mega jump while holding right to touch the highest block to the right side and then get teleported. Oh, you did it while I typed it out. I got lucky, bro. I got lucky. Don't worry, you don't need to school me on this. I'll figure it out. If I really do get stuck, I'll go to Saint. I'll check out his videos. That is a beautiful. It's amazing, Jane. I love that it's 3 of them stacked on each other. Doyle official, welcome, Doyle. How are you? Riot, Possum Dance. All right. Well, for anyone just joining us, we are playing Johnny. This is the 15th game, I think. I think it's the 15th one, and this game is it's challenging in its own right. Okay, we killed some guys. I think that there's an invisible trigger somewhere, probably. Or I need to fall down. All the Johnny games were made by Kimberly Cubis, and they have their own variety of... These guys kind of do look like shrimp. I do like their eyes. They don't look menacing like a lot of the stuff. For whatever reason, the last game had a lot of menacing looking guys, but all these guys look generally, you know, they look like you could hang out with them. You could have a party with them. They look like they're each going to bring something to the table. Maybe not this guy. That guy's a square. But the other guys, they got something to bring. They got something to offer, you know. Am I just making friendships all transactional? Is that what it is? If they have nothing to offer, then I don't accept them as they are? Well, this is an interesting foray into more philosophical discussion here. Okay, you just had to go right. You had to hang right. Look at all these squares. I just complained about him, and now he's giving me a ton of them to deal with. Wait, I gotta get, like, slightly left here. Nice. This is the position. Take him out. Wow, this is one by one. One by one, their forces weaken. Simple, really. Trivial. As long as my nose does not get hit, I can progress. This Johnny game's actually got some length to it. It hasn't been horrible to play. It has been kind of a treat. I have not needed to glitch anything, although some of the glitching is a little awkward at times. Just as I say that, he teleports upwards. Always up with this guy. Can't keep him off the ceiling. Dude's constantly in the air. Also, Doyle, I don't know if I asked how you're doing. How are you? How's your day? Sorry, I'm getting slightly distracted. There's a lot of Johnny things happening. Okay, do I just go down and right? Okay, you don't go right for that one. You die. Sadly, the last Johnny games are literally impossible without following Saint's playthrough. I am not exaggerating. All right, well, that is unfortunate. I will require your and Saint's assistance then when we beat the final games. I wonder how he figured them out. Maybe it was just because he read some stuff or just played them long enough to figure it all out. That is unfortunate. I do like some of the cohesion in these games that I'm feeling here, you know. Like, this feels like a playable game. And I appreciate that he deconstructs different aspects of it so that I'm always on my toes. I never know what's going to happen. I was going to make a nose pun there, but I never knows. It's ambiguous. I'm always guessing, sniffing, wondering, snorting, wondering what will happen. Okay, I see them, some of the overlaps of them are dying bit by bit. Okay, so for this one, I don't gotta go right, I gotta go left. Oh, there's a platform down there. Oh, okay, so once you go right, then you hit an invisible trigger, and then this disappears and there's a new platform. I kind of like that. It's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta go forward, so then you gotta backtrack. There's like some if you're somebody like me that likes to read a lot of random stuff into things that could be potentially meaningless, then I quite like that. I like confirmation bias of reaffirming things I already feel about reality. That's nice to see. I like to feel validated in that way. Okay, so we have to go right over here. I think we gotta leap. Oh. Oh, man. I don't know how it works. I don't know where the trigger is. I gotta figure it out. Okay. It's okay, though. We're making progress. Saint had to decompile them to even understand what the hell was going on. Yeah, that makes sense. I have them decompiled, so I guess I have that to my advantage as well. I already thought ahead of time to decompile because I wanted to see, like, what is going on? What determines score? Are we progressing or regressing or what? Okay. There's like 3 more. I see them. Okay. Let me catch up a chat. I nap now. Makes sense, Jade. Have a good nap. Most definitely not my favorite Johnny game. It was only on my second playthrough of the very last Johnny game that I realized the last Johnny games are so insane that Kim most likely actually forgot other people were meant to play them. That sounds about right. Just gotta take a little bit of a leap and then we go backwards. It did seem like the map changed, but at what point does it change? It's hard to say. I see that it changes. Can we just skip all this bullshit? No prelude, just ignore it. No, there's too many guys. We must kill them. Death is the only option. Please decompile the map Cheese Dreams sometime. That would make my day, and I would make a video guide on how to access each screen. Yeah, I think it might. I don't think I'll be able to decompile it because it might be too old, or whatever Game Maker version he's using. He said he was using like XP or something like that. But I do want to make a map, so I may go in. Well, the interesting thing about Cheese Dreams is that sometimes you feel like you're going down, and sometimes you feel like you're going up. You know. Like, sometimes I feel like I can sort of loop back upwards in that game because the maps are repeating sometimes, and sometimes new maps will give you different options when you're in them, which is fascinating because it's like, oh, I triggered something, some invisible trigger, and now there's a hole on this level that I can descend into. Like, that's fascinating to me. I quite like the game design in it. I want to try designing something similarly myself, in different ways. There's some of the chaos that I don't necessarily like, but I do like some of it. So that sort of formless, ever-changing, multi-mini game thing is an interesting concept to me. And I also think it'd be a fun experiment to sort of program a wide variety of things. What do I do here? I died for some reason. Interesting. Methinks some bullshittery is afoot. Oh, wait a minute. I'm silly. Okay, I figured it out. You know, it's interesting because in these games, he's been putting a block on the left-hand side, so I just inferred that I wouldn't be able to go left. So this is why you gotta redo some things. You gotta try new strats. Like, can I go left here? No, I can't. See, there's a invisible wall here, but I just assumed that level had an invisible wall. It's like Kim is actively teaching you, like, hey, you know, you can't learn everything. That you're just gonna have to approach each of these things with a child's mind. You have to not assume anything. Sort of speak from within, in a way, right? That's what I do like about these games. It's like, hey, nothing is sacred. We're going to deconstruct it all. Sometimes you're going to have a gun. Sometimes your gun's going to reload. Sometimes you're going to be able to jump. Sometimes you're not going to be able to jump. Sometimes you're going to be able to shrink. Sometimes you're not going to be able to shrink. Sometimes you're going to be able to beat the level by going right. Sometimes you're going to have to go up, down, left, right, and hit 5 invisible triggers. It's never the same. That's what I do. I do really appreciate that aspect of it. Even if the final games are just like a shit show of like unpredictability and like esoterically unpenetratable for the average player, I will take away from this that, you know, often in games we sort of lead with the foot that has experienced a lot of these games, right? A lot of these games are familiar. They do not challenge the things we have learned. And so this is something that does actively challenge that. And each iteration gives me something new in the playground that I have to deal with. The playground that is these games. Something that feels like stable footing is, for another game, fodder to make you think otherwise. And that's what I do appreciate about it. That is something I am definitely learning from that. And in my own game, Jump Off the Bridge, I do use subversion a lot. I play with the player's expectations. I try to teach them something only to like throw a different ball in their court later. And this is something that this game does between each game, and I try to do it between each level. So I also feel a sense of familiarity there. But the subversion becomes familiar because it is constantly subverting. So you have to keep that in mind as well. As you design games or things that are subversive in spite of common tropes, it still becomes predictable in its own unpredictability, which is also something to fight against actively. I see black bullets here, barely, that are, so I'm going to try to just keep jumping and try to kill these guys. Use my bullets as like a shield while I'm doing this. Oh man. Okay, this is a pretty tough level here. Oh, my nose got in the way, dude. I think I gotta pre-fire a huge round here. Yeah. There's like a lot of enemies to sort of begin the game down here. Okay, jump. Okay, we gotta kill some of this stuff here. Oh, okay, he got my nose. He hit me just the tip of my nose before I could react. Some of this also feels like luck because some of these enemies are obviously coming, some are going. It's a mix. It's a toss bag. Kim was showing us the randomness of gacha games before gacha games were ever popularized. Okay, I think we can take our time. Okay, we've got to jump over these. See, the problem with jumping is I don't want to hit any black bullets. I can't see where the black bullets are. They're hidden in the darkness. Okay, I think we're good. I feel safe enough to move. Okay, let me catch up with chat. He meant XP MS Paint. MS Paint after Windows 7 uses anti-aliasing. MS Paint from XP does not. Are you sure? Because I remember reading one of his Patreon posts that said he had this really old computer that he got running. It's like some antiquated thing. I don't know. Maybe it was just MS Paint, but it seemed like he was talking about how he had just some old computer that wasn't connected to the internet, like a George R.R. Martin type of design space. I'm not sure. So, children don't look at the art from a critical perspective because Kim kept his childlike wonder. Johnny is as awesome as it is. Yeah, I do agree. I agree with that sentiment. Because kids aren't, they might learn and sort of build up a preconceived notion of like what you have to do. But I appreciate that Kim actively dismantles it between each game. But it does become predictable in some sense, but it's hard to know what exactly we expect from him. Okay, we got to get the fortuitous right hand. This game's pretty long. We got to get the fortuitous right hand pathing of these monsters. Okay, let's kill the happy shrimp. Okay, we can sort of. The problem is my nose is too big. I have to lead with the nose. It's like I'm vulnerable, right? I'm putting my vulnerability first as I eke towards the future. The future being the right-hand side of the screen. And my nose is my most vulnerable aspect of me. And I have to lead with it if I want to face the challenges ahead. Or perhaps it's just the nature of something I can't not do, right? In being a human in this timeline. Okay, so I was averse to going right because I suspected that jumping down this hole would kill me. Nope. You can never know. You can never know. You can never know with these games. You can never know. That's all it is. It's an exercise in unknowing. Whenever you think you have it, you don't. Let's see what I can ignore here. I think I gotta jump down here. Nope, I don't. See, it didn't feel right. I jumped down the previous level. I wanted to redo that here, and it did not work. Perhaps I jumped down here. Who knows? Maybe Kim's got a weird picador thing here. Fall down what path? This one? The next one? Okay, I think I'm just going backwards now. Okay. I think I haven't tried one path. Let's try it again. Okay, this A, buddy. You're getting in my way. I need you to either jump or don't. And pick a lane. I think I haven't jumped in. Have I done this one yet? Okay. Sorry, my memory is not working perfectly here. Maybe this is one of the rare few. I don't know what to trust anymore. Should we try killing everything? suppose we can. Let's see what happens. There have been few levels in Kim's past, in the previous Johnny games, where you had to kill everything to progress. So I do know that is something he has programmed before. So it is something I can expect to see. That's also something interesting to think about, is like what you have seen before, you can kind of expect that you may see it again, because you know he's capable of doing it. Okay, let me catch up with chat here. I hope you see what I meant when I said Johnny games are relaxing. I'm playing it too with the stream and it's super chill. Yeah, so my initial impression of the comment was I found that line specifically very funny. Because I was like, these games are not relaxing. That was like my initial thought. But I also think that I was weighing these games with a lot of expectations of like what I had wanted. And once you sort of explain, even I kind of felt that. I felt the oscillation of agency as something that's given and something that's taken away. And once I recognized that like I could zoom out from a micro perspective and see a macro perspective of like, oh, this is just happening. Like, this is just the rhythm of these games, right? It became easier for me to accept that there was going to be games where I'm going to have the agency and games where I'm not, rather than assuming that they all have to progress in some sort of way. And perhaps that's just it's a vestige, a vestigial thing of the culture that I'm absorbing, that you always have to go upwards, which isn't the reality. It's not how life is, right? You're not always growing. Like, sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forward, sort of thing. Like, sometimes you gotta retrace your steps. Sometimes you learn horrible things and you gotta deal with that, you know? Sometimes you have traumatic experiences and those inform a lot of the decisions you make in your own life, sort of thing. It's not always growth. There is a grind set mindset thing in our culture where people that make money are more valued than others, and money is becoming some sort of Mammonian drive. This demarcation of self-worth is derived from how much money you make, or how good your career is, or how much schooling you had, or whatever the culture wants to say it is. It doesn't matter. What does matter is I don't need to assume that these games will get better or assume that they'll get worse. I just need to see them for what they are. They are interesting forays into the mind of somebody that is dealing with something. And they can just be the games that they are. This blue guy is a little challenging here. I'm going to see if I can do a back and forth on him. I'm going to see if I can hit him with the 1-2. Nope, okay. I gotta hit down. I gotta remember to hit down. Okay, that guy just jumped off the edge, so I'm not gonna be able to complete this if I am trying to kill all these guys. Let's kill this guy. Take this dude out. Something in me suspects that there is one of these platforms is not what it appears to be, right? Maybe this guy will just walk into my bullets given enough time. Yeah, I wasn't patient enough. Okay, but we did lose a guy, so I can't theoretically kill everything. It is weird because there is a border to the right, but it only is so tall. But yeah, I do think they're quite relaxing. I mean, once you think about it, like, you're not losing anything, right? I mean, the game continues. You have saved progress. You can load games. Like, it's pretty forgiving. Despite it being really hard to figure out exactly what the goal is for the game, it is pretty forgiving in that it lets you experiment without paying too much of a price. So yeah, it is a simple, relaxing game. Let me take this moment. I'm back. I start college on the 1st. Awesome. What are you going to college for, dude? I know you're already an accountant, so what are you trying to do? You're trying to do more math or something? Congratulations. I'm sorry I just shit on college a second ago. Beat it, 102 score. I think you need to fall down one of these holes on the screen. God or Mammon? Both. It becomes a god. It is supplanting God. Also, congrats on beating it. I was falling down one of the holes, but... Which hole? I did this hole. Maybe I'm not falling down them because my nose is hitting the side and then I'm teleporting beneath the like level trigger. That's probably what's happening. So let's try to get a clean descent. Okay, I hit all the holes. Every hole has been cleared. That's pretty difficult for Johnny to get his nose down each of these holes, dude. He's got a big nose. And he doesn't fit. Okay, well, I'll kill everything again and see if that helps me. Maybe you have to kill everything and then jump down a hole? Accounting again, just furthering my degree. Johnny Schnozvo. Yeah, dude, Johnny's a huge schnozzo. So are you trying to get more money out of your accounting, or are you going for like some kind of... I don't know. I don't actually know what the higher levels of accounting are, so... And when are we doing your game design courses? I think you can make a Johnny game. I'm going to be honest, Jazz. I think that could be your first game. You could make an homage to Johnny. See, falling down the hole has taught me death, and so I'm fearful of losing progress, but then again, what is progress in a game that actively fights the definition of what progress means, you know? There's something weird over here. I want to just go here. Oh, okay. No, never mind. That didn't go anywhere. I died. Let's try to jump off the edge and then go left. I want to see if there's some thing I'm hitting. Okay, so we're off screen now. I'm going left. You know what I actually suspect? What if, this might be kind of creative. What if one of these walls is fake, right? Okay, that didn't get me anywhere. I'm gonna hold left when I go down one of these holes, and I'm gonna use my back foot. Okay, we can't do that. Johnny just enters a new plane of existence. Maybe I hold right and let my nose sort of hit first. I lead with my nose. That's what I gotta do. What is Kim trying to teach me here? Maybe I'm just not hitting the level trigger and there is actually one at the bottom here because I'm too fat or something. Maybe I'm going too fast. I'm getting too much speed, so I gotta... Like, where the hell did I go here? Let's see. I tried killing all the enemies. Maybe there's a thing to be said about killing all the enemies and then falling down a hole. I could try that for each hole. That's something I could do. Seems a little arbitrary for Kim. Although I know he loves his arbitrary shit. No, it was the second hole. Do the second hole. The second hole has the balls stacked weird. Yeah, I thought so. Do the second hole. I was in the second hole. I think what I might just be missing the level trigger. Maybe it's smaller than I think it is. No, it seems... I'm just not getting lucky, guys. This game is as much about luck as it is about playing. No. My second favorite game maker developer is Jazzo. He made Sexy Hiking, but has a lot of other games. You know, when I was looking up decompilers, I did see a lot of stuff for Sexy Hiking. I haven't played Sexy Hiking myself, though. Jazzuo. No, it's the second hole. Keep falling. Well, oh, am I restarting? I didn't think I was restarting, but maybe I am. Maybe I've just learned that, no, it resets me. Or maybe I just have to hit left and then keep falling. That's weird, dude. Okay. I hit left and then I got here, so I think you should lean left. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I figured it out. Thanks to your help. We did it together. Ooh, I like this level. I can see all the bullets. That's something I'm a fan of. I love seeing things. Okay. Heh. Okay, so we go right here. Okay, no, I hit a guy. Okay, I hit bullets. Let's kill this guy. And then we'll kill this guy. And I'll try to push the screen slowly. Okay. So the guy's down here. I can see him. I can see bullets from them. Okay, we gotta work harder. Okay, we don't actually need to kill that guy. We just kill this one. Is there a dude down here? No. Okay. Oh, there was like switches or something for like the first time. It looked like a switch. Okay. Okay. We're doing our best. We're doing our best. I really like the light background now. It's a nice change of pace from the grueling dark city we were traversing in before. Okay, I'm hitting the shrimp guy sometimes spawns. Okay, let's kill this dude. Okay, this shrimp guy is gonna kill me this time. Okay, let's aim down here a little bit more. Let's walk down. Okay, I feel like if I go left, I die. Okay. There's something over there. Boss chamber. Okay, we're close. It's the boss chamber switch. I wonder if we gotta hit both. I was in a precarious situation where in order to shoot right, I had to actually hit right, but I was already too close. My nose had been touching him. Okay, I don't know what killed me there. Got some different music tracks. That's nice to see. Nice to hear. Okay, we gotta get a lucky spawn. There is some RNG in this. We're taking damage, okay. I didn't think I was gonna win that one. Okay. Can I shoot this guy from here? He's just sorta in my way. It's manageable still, but let's try to kill this guy. I think we can do this. Okay. Alright, now I'm gonna hang right. I was gonna hang right. I don't know where the hell I am now. Oh man, that was it. That was so it. Okay, that was down. Okay, this is a good fortuitous spawn. Auspicious moment. Let's take it for what we can. Okay, we got a hit here. I'm trying to jump. Okay. The real boss chamber. Oh, in here. I gotta jump down. Patient number 667. Well, isn't this a creative looking guy? Or patent. Okay, so sometimes he's gonna kill me. We'll see if the RNG blesses me. LMAO. How can anyone figure that out? I figured it out by accident. Yeah, dude, the falling thing is super weird. Sometimes it's like the triggers aren't even consistent for the end of the levels, so you just gotta pray. Yeah, you gotta want it. You're so right, Jazz. You gotta want it, unfortunately. If you don't want it enough, the game... Some of the stuff I feel like I stumble into, like Saint on that level, on Johnny 11, the first level, I spent like 30 minutes trying shit for that level, and I could not get it. And I think he might have just accidentally wandered into it. I think that's what ended up happening. I kind of want to be more of an active player in these bosses, but all the bosses are sort of just random malarkey. Like, it is so random where this guy goes. He's just gonna go wherever. There's no, like, get under him, jump under him. Like, the only place I'm safe is up here. But then my bullets, the odds of him hitting him are also less. Oh, I guess I can get to the right of him. What am I doing? He has a big head, but he's got space over there. I gotta get over there. I gotta pray he jumps. Let's do that. Let's pray he jumps. Jump. Jump, buddy. Nice. Look at that. Oh, we're so in. This is it. It's over. Just to redeem. The boss, he is so funny. Oh, I died. What? I was watching that. I was trying to read, catch up. The boss, he is so funny. The music is even funnier. I always laugh. Wait till you see him. You're not prepared. He's actually really great. I quite like him. He's a funny looking boss. The music is great. I have it turned down a lot for the stream because I don't want it piercing the ears of anybody on accident, but he is a very funny boss. Okay, I still feel like it's better to be right. But I gotta... Okay, let's just shoot here for a while. Let's see how this goes. I'll catch up with chat and then we'll go for it. After you beat this game, please do the LalaLand series. It'll only take 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna have to find a download for the LalaLand series. How many are there? Best way to beat the boss is to lean left and stay on the top block. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is the best strat, right? But I don't know. He's only gonna hit every so often. I guess I'm getting pretty lucky here. Malarkey is as malarkey does. Should I be more to the left, like here? I feel like being here is like the safest, right? The music is really good, dude. That's so funny. It's like just a bunch of random quick beeps and boops. Download under my LalaLand. Okay, gotcha. I'll download it. I think we'll get through Johnny in a couple weeks. If I do like anywhere from 2 to 5 games a day, we'll be getting there pretty soon. I'll continue each day. We'll do it till we get it done. I thought he was gonna glitch up here. Oh, okay. The asylums are back in action, and Johnny has retired to the Cubist camp. Finally, some lore, dude. Some lore. Don't worry, it is only temporarily. You got a score of 129. What did you say you got? I don't remember what you said you got. It's been for 102. Dude, we're score fighting now. Score fighting. Yeah, I will download the LalaLand series. Oh, before we finish stream though, tell me what that Chilean movie you mentioned earlier was. I want to know what that is. And then I'll download the LalaLand stuff right now while I'm waiting for your response on that. Let me see. Let me go to your thing. Nice. I spelt hauntology correctly. Yeah, I did. I watched a little bit of that, and then I saw that 1996 Macintosh animation thing by kids that I clicked on out of curiosity. I think it's this web archive link. Yep, it does download. Okay, I have it. There's only 5 of them. All right. Yeah, we'll do it after this. I did beat it. Beat it. So you're just going to abandon us? Okay, I may be able to do one more. How long is Johnny 16? Is it long? Because I got to eat. I got to go watch dogs. I got to leave at 3:30. So I got like an hour. Oh, I got 2 hours, right? Yeah, I'm not doing my math. I got 2 hours. We love it long. We love it long. Yeah, we love it long. The longer it is, the better. Jazz is desperately trying to get through her work. All right, let me look at. I'll take a look. I may please the audience today. We'll see what Johnny 16 looks like. If it's oppressive and horrible, I don't know. We'll see. No, it's okay for you to prioritize your stuff. I got to go to watch thrillers from the 1960s. Okay. You still got to answer my question. What is the name of the Chilean film? I got to know the Chilean film. I can't go yet. Let's see here. I want to see what this game looks like, though. Let's get a preview. Oh, man. We get lore. One day, while Johnny is cooking breakfast in the bedroom with a haunting past around him, a big vortex suddenly sucks around, and a tall creature with the name of Asagun approaches. Asagun, hello. I am the big and mighty vacuum cleaner. Jikes! Johnny obviously can't say yikes, he says jikes. I see you are practicing for practice. Do you come in peace? Heck no, I come to wreak havoc with my unholy horde of morphic lunchmen. Oh girl, why oh why must this be? because the lame guy in Karamaska charged me a double of Whack-a-Burger with extra 7-Island dressing. And so it has to be. The evil creature, of course, from Zania has now disappeared through the vortex, leaving Johnny by himself. It is time for another adventure to bring back the pale and crows, the green in the grass, the X and hacks. Leaving his toothbrush in the toilet as usual, Johnny heads out to protect Cubus once again. Wow, this is lore, bro. Manol's Destinies, 1984. Okay, I will look that up too. So the game dev passed away. Yeah, people say it's suicide, but some also suspect that it might not be as intentional like a suicide. It might have just been an accident of like drug overdose or something like that. So I do want to, let's look at Johnny. Let's see what Johnny's got here. Oh my. Oh my god. Do we have sounds? We have... Why is my jump horrible? We have a hat row? We have our hat of power? I'm turning this down for you guys too. I don't think you need to hear the random ows. Oh my god, this game is... Okay, we I don't want to spoil too much. It is actually awesome already. We will save that. That'll be the treat at the beginning of the day. I gotta go eat. Sorry, Jazz. You'll have to suffer for now, but I'll be back tomorrow from the top to do Johnny 16. Johnny 16 actually seems awesome. Low-key, super awesome. I can't wait to play it. Have a great day. Oh, man. Okay, good stuff. Thank you guys for coming out. For anyone that showed up, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being a part of the Johnny series. I'll do my main. There we go. Please put this on YouTube as a series. I do have it on YouTube right now. I've been uploading them each thing, but I think what I'm going to do when I finish all of them is do a sort of a hypercut video, like Carl, is that his name? Grand Pooh Bear. He's been doing this unbeatable series where he plays through the games on stream, however many hours it takes, and then he edits them down into like a digestible 20 to 40 minute video of like the highlights with narration, sort of sometimes narration, not all the time. Sort of just his cut of his stuff. I would probably narrate over it, but I want to show, like, you know, the thing about the Unbeatable series, which is interesting for Grand Pooh Bear, is like a lot of people have beat those games, you know. There are old games from his childhood that he didn't beat that he's beating through, which I find is fun. But there's like a lot of these obscure games, like the Johnny series, like all 36 of them, that aren't known. Like, these are games people don't beat, right? There's only the videos that Saint has of him playing through them on YouTube. You hardly find anything else about it. And if it is, it's a microcosmic look from a zoom out perspective of a bystander appreciating the games from a distance, not necessarily, you know, delving into it and getting their hands dirty, sort of thing. So, and I felt like in order to do my homage to it, I had to get my hands dirty. And we're getting more than just our hands dirty. You know, there's a lot of, you know, with a big nose, anything's possible. You smell a lot of things in the dirt. Is probably the best way to say it. My favorite Kaizo streamer is Mix Up Gamers. He speedran the Bible on live stream when he was like 8 years old. That's really funny. He beat Hacker's Dreams, if that means anything. I have not seen Hacker's Dreams. I don't know what that is. But speedran the Bible? Like, he read the Bible on live stream when he's 8? That's pretty funny to think about, too. All right, man. Well, thank you for showing up. Thank you for good luck where you are in Ukraine. I hope it gets better for you. Hopefully you can get some sleep tonight. I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to go read. For our book club, we're currently reading Don Quixote, so I have to finish that in 78 days, I think, since it's been a couple days since our book club. Actually, probably longer than that. Probably 76 days. I don't know. We got to finish that. It's like 1,000 pages. I got an edition of it here. I also have a bigger edition at my house. I don't know which one I'm going to read yet. Depends on what translation is better. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to bring Zarathustra, because we had a lot of good, interesting Nietzsche discussion today, so it was fun. You're the only book club member who would play something like Johnny. Yeah, that is actually true. And you know what's funny? All of my book club, that I'm a part of, they absolutely hated Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung, which I really enjoyed. It's not like a full Carl Jung book. I don't feel like we got a full taste of him because he only really does the first couple chapters, and then the rest of the chapters are done by different people. But it is an interesting insight into some of the like symbolic, archetypical sort of stuff. But it wasn't finite or factual or scientific enough for a lot of the book clubs, so they really did not enjoy it, which is a shame because I feel like that's a different sort of thing you can access. It's just another thing. You know, science is one way of viewing the world, and Jung's archetypical, symbolic sort of, what is the best way to describe that? It's sort of like he is pattern recognizing that a lot of these mythologies and stories have similar elements, and then he's distilling the essence of them and then extracting sort of the pattern or theme or reoccurring thematic teaching. And so in its way, it is scientific, right? Because you're sort of extracting the human psyche in a certain way. Granted, it's not always easy to see whether something was done honestly or if it just echoes some other sentiment or if its intention or purpose is different. But I still think there's something to glean and gain from, like, doing that distillation process and trying to identify, like, reoccurring themes and patterns of the psyche in that way. The way that the unconscious sort of just bubbles up out of sight in a dark cave where no one's looking, sort of thing. So I do really appreciate the Johnny games. They've been awesome. But if you do have a minute, do at least LalaLand 1. That would be perfect. You really want to see this LalaLand? Okay, give me a second. I'll pull it up for you. I'm a people pleaser sometimes. Give me a second. We'll see if I have any thoughts about LalaLand. Jazz wants more content anyways, so we'll kill two birds with one stone. And in case you like birds, well, let's pretend they're not real. I'm not actually killing birds. LalaLand EXE. Interesting. Okay, this looks like an art piece. LalaLand. Man meets woman. Okay, you guys see what's happening here? So we're the guy in the top left. If you can't read it, it says fish sticks in that monster. I'm holding right. 7, 8. We're still at 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. We're increasing. There's an edge. We're making progress. I thought we were making progress. We teleported back over here. 15? I don't see our guy anymore. 16. Or we appear again in the lower right. number has increased. Are these like different versions of ourselves making the end of the game? I feel like I'm controlling multiple characters. It's not just one. I don't think doing space does anything, but I'm hitting it. As I hold right, the number gets bigger and things move. The number is also changing position on the screen, which makes me feel like something is happening. This feels less accessible than even Johnny is. Oh, I got the number increase. I didn't even notice. I was too busy holding right. You can press control to shoot Garland. Or look at the clip from various Cupis blogs where he listens to banjo music. It's really funny. Thank you. So LalaLand doesn't really have an ending. At least the ending wasn't discovered until 2025, which happens when you reach 50. So you can stop and go to LalaLand too. Does it make sense with the rest of the series? Interesting. You press control to shoot Garland. Yeah, how long would you have to hold this to get to 50? Would it be just like forever? That's a very interesting game. Very impenetrable, just like Johnny games, but on a much different level. I'm excited to see the rest of it then. We'll save that for when we finish the Johnny series. I'll replay it again too for that, so that we can sort of catch everyone up with the lore, since you said it'll explain over time. My initial impression of the beginning screen is we have some sort of like Adam and Eve creation myth thing. At least that's the thing I got out of it. The man embraces the woman from behind, and then we sort of have this oppressively, colorfully static environment where we're controlling a bunch of different things barely. We're trying our best to control them, but it doesn't feel like we're doing anything but inching forward. Interesting thoughts. I'm not exactly sure. Now LalaLand 2, please, is easy. You want the whole LalaLand experience, dude. All right, I'm just gonna do LalaLand 2. We'll save the rest. Let's see what it looks like. There's a readme. Music credit. Okay. I'll give it a look. I didn't even see what that said. I'm a poor fish head in need of money. Is it okay to steal from the rich because they have lots to spare? Oh, thanks. I want more. Big T. Bigot? Oh, thanks. I want more. More. Is this getting smaller? I mean, it's moving, but I can't tell if it's actually decreasing or if it just resets every time. More. More. It feels like it's not doing anything. Oh, okay, so that pixel, the black pixel, is close to the bottom on there. Let's see where we... Yeah, it's still the same. I want more. This was created in 2006, so it's really ahead of these kinds of games. Oh, that's interesting. It's the developer's username, so it's a persona. The rest of the series is just as short. Does this game have an ending? I guess it has to, right? Once we steal all of the money, right? Oh, a shiny jewel I bought. Thanks a lot. Is that it? Without money, how are we nobles to survive? Alright, you've struck my curiosity. Do we do the third one too? If they're all this short? If this isn't going to take 20 minutes? I mean, you said it was going to take 15 minutes, so... Read me. 2006. If you feel the need to talk to someone about your problem, my email address is full cream cheese at Hotmail. Okay. Is this guy still alive? It is interesting. I'm sick and tired of eating these oranges every day. There has to be something more. What about coconuts? You broke your teeth. Well, I guess that makes sense. But I'm smiling. Reach up for the object? Your arms fell off. You are suddenly overwhelmed with hunger. Well, I guess I have to go back to the orange, right? The orange didn't hurt my teeth. It didn't make my arms fall off. Peel oranges with hands. Press up. That may be a little difficult. Peel oranges with teeth. Press up. I don't think so. Never leave home again. Push down. You've learned a very valuable lesson. That was actually... I quite like that. That was awesome, dude. I really like that, dude. Holy. Okay. That was pretty awesome. I need my opinion to digest more for that, but I really did like that. Okay. I see where we're going with these. I see. All right. We're doing the rest. We got two more. I have a lot of thoughts, I think, about that one, but I'm not sure exactly what it's interesting. It's like, okay, you have something and you're always wanting more. It's like this human nature thing of you're always... Ugh. You're never satisfied. The grass is always greener somewhere else, sort of thing. But then it's like, okay, so in an attempt to get these other things, you end up like hurting aspects of yourself. You have to make sacrifices, right? And in the idea of like you're tired of the same, so you try a coconut, but you end up hurting your teeth, right? And then you try to reach for more, you want apples, but in reaching for more, you end up sacrificing your arms. And then you try to go back to the thing that you had, but you've already made sacrifices to change the person you were then. So it's like, okay, well, should I just never leave home then? Should I never strive for more? Like, I guess I'll just stay home and become like an agoraphobic hikikomori hermit person. Like, it's a pretty profoundly interesting experimental game. I quite like that. Very fascinating. All right, let's see what 4 has to offer. LalaLand 4. Okay, there's 2 of us, and they're both cooks. We're cooking something up. Part of the game is obscured. I can't quite see. I don't see fall damage. Okay, there's a path over here. There's 2 doors. He's gotten his door, but can I get in mine? No, I don't think I can. So I gotta be smarter about this. Okay, let's try again. I don't know if quit and restart is the goal, but let's try again. Okay, so we can approach our door first. Though it is obscured, we can get into the door. And then he can get into his door without being trapped. So we work together. Okay. And here's the fish head noble. Big T. It's time to serve the guest. No. Now there's a ghost version of myself. So he has like a heart and he's saying something like protect me something. And then in love there is a door, okay. Now we're in space. I don't need this chick. I'm a cook going my own way. I can't make a decision. Okay, I guess we have to embrace her in our ghostly form. With our toothless grin and our chef's hat. Guess she looks like she has teeth at least. Oh no, but no matter how much I try to reach her, I am thwarted at different points. It's like I have to move away from the love, the self-love I have to chase this version of her. And it's an ideal version because we're in space, right? It's not a real version. That's why I have an imaginary self. My imaginary self has left my body. I'm astrally projecting to try to reach her, but I can't reach her. And I have to actively leave my own heart to try to reach her. And yet I persist. This is a pig, like a greedy pig or something. I don't quite know what I'm looking at. Is that face? It looks like my face. He's slowly gaining on me. This greedy, ever-eating, always wanting aspect of self. Can I just touch him? What's the point? Why am I running? Let him catch up. I mean, no matter how much I run, he's always going to catch up. He has a slightly, like, decimally higher speed than I do. Is there something over here? This is what's so brilliant about these games, because they don't need to be explained. Everything is intuitively understandable. Yeah, it is really, like, it sort of just like opens the door to your psyche and you're like, oh yeah, I kind of get it, right? Pay attention to each element. Chills from these games, I can see that. I'm running in space. Oh, but I can go to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I get rest from my ever-chattering head. And that was that. It's interesting, this idea of having to serve other people, and the thing you want for yourself is like kind of this unrealistic, unachievable love sort of thing. You're a cook, you're a chef, you can make things that people like, but at what cost? That's an interesting to think about. Do I have to click escape to end this game, or does it end itself? I'm going to assume that's the end. It is intuitively understandable. All right, we got one more. These are games that sort of embed themselves in the psyche too, I see. Didn't think we'd have a giant philosophical discussion today, but last is my favorite. Okay, let's see it. Okay. 5 days ago. We go to bed in our suit. We're formal attire. Money, food budget. So we... Okay, there's a song about Amway playing in the background, which I remember is like a multi-level marketing scheme. And we're playing a missionary right now. And we're giving out like Bibles or something. And we're gaining money and food budget. It doesn't cost anything to preach. It puts them to sleep though. And then now we go to sleep. All the houses in the background. 4 days ago. Okay, so we were a missionary for Amway. We got some money. We got a budget. Okay, then we have a different day to approach. Okay, some people are already sleeping. We have confetti. It's like a... We have more static, perhaps. Perhaps the life that we're living increases the amount of static we have. Because remember the colored static from the first game, right? Okay, we got some more money, but some people are already asleep. They're already inundated with whatever we have to preach. Okay, now there's more static. We're on a money, but we still have a food budget. Monies, I should say, plural. It's kind of interesting. It's like you got like fish heads, this idea of like swimming, and some of them are like awake. Like you're gonna meet people in your path that are, they're not as saturated with whatever it is you're trying to preach to them. But these people are all asleep. That's interesting. So we're moving our way from the past to the present. This is interesting considering the Adam and Eve thing I pulled out from the first game. Perhaps this is somebody struggling with like the people around them. Like they feel, or maybe they were just somebody that had to preach to a lot of people. They had to go door to door like a salesman and sort of sell this thing, but it created more color and more static, and it was harder to see like the reality for them. I'm not sure. And then at a certain point, everyone they meet is just somebody that's already the same as them. Because it sort of just gives itself unto itself, you know? The more you find more of the same. Interesting. Nah, everyone's asleep. Now we're old and in a wheelchair for some reason. Even though that was just yesterday. This song was also more distorted last one. You like can't even see the people anymore. It's like all fragmented. And there's like a childlike song playing in the background. I feel like I'm dissociating just trying to play this. This is really bizarre. So they're still sleeping. It's just harder to see them. Because I see the Z's in a pixelated fashion moving above me here. And I'm like crawling through life. Just to wake up and get to bed the next day. These are these are a lot to think about. I quite like them though. They're very pretty. The last day scares me. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, the screen is messed up. Sorry about that. It's too big. Listen to the lyrics of the song. Yeah, it's the best art game ever made. Nothing comes close. And everyone plays who gets something different. The last day scares me. The song is I'm no kin to a monkey, no, and it's creationism song against Darwinism. So LalaLand 1 ends the same day when you reach number 50, visual snow, flashing rainbow squares. It's like a rebirth reincarnation. That's very fascinating. For those of you who didn't see it, let me fix the screen here and I'll just show you some of what I was looking at. Sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention to chat. I was super involved in it. But here's what the game looks like. And basically it's an iteration of days that you go through, and you're sort of like a missionary preaching whatever your philosophy or religion is, which in this case has crosses on the books. And you toss them to these people. Oh, it's down. I forgot the controls already. You really gotta want this guy. Did he spawn randomly? Is that what it is? I can't even preach this, dude. But this is what it looks like. Now, something I am curious about before we go here. It is infinitely analyzable. You are right. What I want to know is there choice? So I'm here. I wake up. I'm in my suit. I'm ready to embrace the day formally. And I could preach to these people. They're all awake in their own way. Or I could just not. But then I have no money and no food budget. So I have a food budget. I have $50. Do I just die? Like, what happens if I don't do any of the preaching? Do they still go to sleep? Is it just the nature of, like, growing older that they're invariably going to meet more people that are asleep? Like, we're showing a kind of progression of time, right? From, like, it's not explicit that you're a child, but you do get old after the 5th day. So, like, oh, I can't even get into bed. My bed rejects me. I don't even have the choice. I don't believe it, dude. You're bullshitting me. So the Amway song is about, like, selling to have money for the bills. Okay. So do I have to at least get one converted to go to bed? No, you have to convert them all. Interesting. Okay. Weird. It is infinitely analyzable. LalaLand 1 ends the same way. When you reach number 50, visual snow flashing rainbow squares like a rebirth. Okay, I see now. Okay, so there is like a there is like a thread of some sort of like religion or somebody dealing with religion. I made a 20-minute analysis video, and Snail Man made a 40-minute analysis. It'd be cool if you analyze the series too in a short video, especially with your liking of philosophy. Yeah, I will. I will consider doing that. I really did enjoy those games. They're pretty interesting and very short. So Ash decompiled this game and found new sprites, but no one knows any other endings. So except LalaLand 1, you have seen anything in the game that the people know. It's kind of mysterious. Interesting. Well, let's try to just quickly throw it in the decompiler and see if it does anything. Nope. Okay, so it must be older. We'll look at it. We'll look at it later. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's fun. I appreciate you sharing that with me, and I'm glad we got to share it together. Weird. There's a lot to think about in a lot of these games. It is fascinating artistically what they can do, even with just such simple sprites and simple things. I wonder where that creator is now, and I wonder what he thinks of the games he made then. I mean, they're archived, right? So it's not like they're on some website. I don't know if they're on itch.io. I haven't looked for it. Are they still making stuff? Did they stop making stuff? I'd be curious to know. But yeah, I'll consider making a short analysis of it. A lot of these things are interesting forays into life and people's experiences, and it's amazing that a game gives you a space where you can interact directly with somebody's sort of narrative. Like in a book, you're opening up a book and you're reading through and you're empathizing with the character, but you're not actively experiencing something in the same way that you do with a video game where you're directly taking into their shoes. Maybe it's like a different level of empathy, or it's a different amount of connection because there's like a digitalization of the virtual interface that you're interacting with the reality that you're seeing. So it's not like all in your head. There is like some tangible thing in front of you. You're literally looking through the eyes in some of these games, like first-person shooters and stuff like that. So that is interesting to think about. All right, well, that's a lot of food for thought for today. A lot of food for thought. For anyone that watched this, thank you. For anyone that came here, thank you. I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to go read. That's what I'm going to do for today. He really put himself into the game as Big T. It's his username, and that is too sincere. But yeah, that makes sense. Goodbye. Yeah, thank you for showing up, Noli. I'm going to call you Noli or Iberia, whatever you want. Just let me know. And hopefully I'll see you soon. I will play more Johnny tomorrow probably, but it'll be later in the day. So we'll see what I get to. Have a great day. Take it easy. And goodbye, good night, wherever you are. Good morning, whatever it is. Take care.